Eep.
Hello, everybody. I am Steve from Mac84, and welcome to another Mac84 live stream. Hopefully, this goes smoothly. I haven't used StreamYard in a while, and we'll get to why in a moment. And if you're very keen, you will understand via the title and the thumbnail. First, let me just say hello to everybody. We have Jordan, we have Trina, we have Dana, we have Jack. Thank you for becoming a member, Trina. That's always appreciated. Eric is here, Photo Jedi is here, Dave is here. Brandon's here, Geek with Social Skills is here, Apple Classic is here, Bacchus is here. Who else did I miss? We have a rumble of thunder in the background. Geek with Social Skills is here, Distro Projects is here, Epictronics is here, Hyper Talking is here after he puts his kids to bed, CDI, Garth Beagle, Brian's here, Bibiask is here, Vic the Vicar is here. My goodness, it just keeps going. Gupbom's here, Big Bad Biologist is here. Sorcerer Stand is here. Retro Fox is here. Okay, all right. That's enough of that hubble, however you say it. I'm terrible at that, and a lot of things. Anyway, so the purpose of today's stream is to pick someone's juicy brain to try and fix a Macintosh IIci that I've been banging my head against the wall with. And the man I'm about to introduce needs no introduction, but I'm going to introduce him anyway. He's your friend of mine to the retro community, especially if you have a Macintosh. Kai Robinson.
Hello.
Welcome to whatever this is, Kai. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for eating up whatever day it is over there with this insanity.
Oh no, I'm grateful to be here. And every time you mention picking my brains, I keep wanting to find some sort of hard hat so that nothing bad can happen. I like my brains where they are, between my ears.
You need a hard hat, and then you need like a little like drawing of a hole with the little brain sticking out, you know.
Well, how long will that distract you for?
Just like, forever.
Okay, well, fair enough.
Oh boy. So you've been on a few of my open talk shows in the past, ages ago, when we were both young and smart,
That was a lot of hair ago.
Yeah.
I think for both of us,
especially for me. Yeah.
I mean, since then I've moved. This is a new place.
Yes.
My now wife and I moved here August last year, and so now I have an entire room dedicated to beige crap. As you can see behind me, beige.
No, that's just a very...
beige.
Oh God.
Put it that way. More beige. And yes, that is a Quadra 700 in the corner, and no, you can't have it.
I love how it looks manageable until you tilt it up. You see all the classic Macs.
There's a 2FX up there on top of a Quadra 950.
Oh, I love it.
The 2FX board, that's the one that Bruce fixed on his live stream, I think last year. And the Quadra 950, again, I got that ages ago. I can't even remember how long ago I got it. But it came as just the empty case with the logic board in it. I'm like, okay, so where's the power supply? And the guy was selling the power supply separately. And the guy wanted like £600 for just PSU. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. And finally, there was a guy on Tinker Different called Slow Mac User from I think it was Slovakia. He had the power supply, and he's like, oh, here, you can just have the power supply. And I'm like, excellent, I'll take that. And then I needed to find the drive cage for it, and that Quadra 950 logic board is also, that was battery bombed, and it's attacked the SIM sockets. But it's not beyond the realm of possibility, but it's long in the pipeline.
Well, I'm glad that you have a dedicated room for all your beige bad influences.
There's stuff there as well. There's stuff on the floor. One of the perils of working in IT. And yes, Wessex IT represent. We have a lot of clients going through just chucking their stuff out, and quite a lot of it goes near like to the bin.
Oh yeah,
or rather to the to e-waste.
Yeah,
and it's like, what's wrong with that? Oh, it's only a Core i3 6th gen. I'm like, that will work for like someone who needs a computer for homework.
Oh sure, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's fine for YouTube. I mean, again, 24-inch monitor just sitting next to me. That was going to go in a bin. Works fine, absolutely fine.
So hyper talking here, as you may know, says Kai, if you need more 950 spares, I have lots.
Ooh, I may have to take you up on that, James.
James is very dangerous because he keeps threatening, like, oh, I need to get rid of this, and I'm like, I'm not in your country now, but I will devise a plan to get there with a big slow boat.
See, okay, I think actually James is owed something by me. I'm pretty sure I still have that HPV video card from a 7100 somewhere in here. And by somewhere, I mean that box there. But yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember if I sent it or not. It's just everything last year was just a dumpster fire to the tail end of the year.
Yeah, I think there was a similar card. We've been playing this game, very fun and dangerous game of, Steve, you're in the US. This person only ships to the US. Here's a parcel coming your way. And I think one of them was either that card or a similar card. And I actually recapped it, but I haven't tested it yet. So he may still need that one.
I know I've done that with you, but that was with the G4 Lombard.
Yes, it's still in the box. I have not gotten my greasy fingers all over it, I can assure you.
Yeah, that's the thing. Somebody says, "Oh yeah, hey, do you want to buy a Lombard?" I'm like, "Man," and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's got a G4 upgrade in it." Go on.
Now you have my attention.
Talking. Now you have my attention.
Oh well, speaking of everyone's attention, I'd like to bring your attention to a little bit of a reason. Well, part of the reason why Kai's here. One, his brain is juicy. He won't let me eat it, so I have to, actually verbally and through written methods, try and peer information out of his delicious brain. But the other reason is that Kai has a GoFundMe going on, which is actually a considerable amount way through, which is excellent. It just shows how loving and caring people are in the community. But Kai has done so much, from working with everybody on Tinker Different to creating things like the Classic Reloaded and the SE Reloaded projects, to just being as everyone else has said, and I completely agree, a pillar of the retro community and the retro Macintosh community. So there is a GoFundMe link. It is pinned to the top of the YouTube comment section. It is also in the video description, and I'm showing it on screen because there it is. Well, actually, there it is. I had to get my left and rights worked out. But we've all gone through tough times. Last year, that was my tough time. I was out of work for a while, and life doesn't play around when that happens. So Kai has just put this little thing together, and the generosity has been amazing.
Overwhelming would be my word for it.
Yeah.
When I I'm always bad about talking about this sort of stuff in front of people, because I feel kind of ashamed or embarrassed.
But you should. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I'm so used to sort of the way I was brought up in the 80s was like, no, men don't suffer. We do it in silence in a cold, dark room. We don't cry or let on that we have
until you snap and buy 500 Mac LCs at an auction. Yeah.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. I wasn't expecting to get anything out of it. If I'm perfectly honest, I never thought that maybe I might raise £100 or something like that, but that would have still have helped. And like, I'm not even kidding. Obviously, I came into, I think it was your live stream, not the Saturday.
2 days ago, yeah.
Like it was a week ago or so. And when I checked the GoFundMe, and I'm like, holy crap! I wasn't expecting that. And then it wasn't just that; it was the kind comments from people leaving it behind as well. Because I am quite self-deprecating, and honestly, when it comes to it, when I'm seeing people write things like that, I'm a pillar of the community, I find that. I'm like, am I? I don't think I am, but I feel awkward. I mean, if that's what people think, then I'm not going to stop you. And it might take a while for me to kind of realize it, but and again, a lot of the stuff that I do it because I just want to help.
Yeah.
I'm a nerd with a beard that likes to play with dangerous tools.
There's a group of us going around, I think, that fit that description. But so I did want to promote this. It is linked in the comment section and in the video description, and it's on your screen now. I've donated. A bunch of other people have donated. Obviously, take care of yourself first. Don't put yourself out of pocket if you want to show your support. This is going to be, available for the, I guess if there's a limit of, I don't know how many days this is up, or it's just indefinite. I know some of these things.
Indefinite.
Okay, great. So yeah, if you can't donate now, you wait. But I just wanted to raise awareness for this because even if you can't believe it or not, Kai is a very positive pillar of the vintage Mac community. Has helped me on multiple projects. Has helped multiple people on multiple projects. And it's just one of those things where some people like Kai are just invaluable to the knowledge sharing and the reverse engineering and just like the enthusiasm of this community, because you get someone like Kai or to some extent myself, where it's like there's a problem and we're both like, ooh, I want fix. And I think that's just in a lot of our nature in this way to try and do that. So I just wanted to give that a shout out. It is in both places. I will remove this from the screen so you can see our bearded faces. But
I said earlier that my beard keeps getting more and more epic. I shaved this off last year. This is growth from like August last year.
See, when mine grows out, it just goes like it doesn't like go form.
You don't get length.
No, I just get like static.
I mean, to be fair, I could do with a bit of a trim at the moment. I mean, my wife just says that if I wear a shabby T-shirt and have a beer in my hand, I look like I've just crawled out of a dumpster. The sort of people you see outside like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Beards are part of the requirement for our field, it seems.
It is. It seems. The weirdest thing is, okay, so I know Outfall Classic asked a few comments back, do I need a job? No, I'm okay now. I've got a job back in February working for a wonderful company called Workspaces IT. And out of everybody in that office, we either have beards, glasses, or both. It is literally just beards and glasses. You go upstairs and you're like, oh, wait, no, you're Barry. No, you're... Wait, no. It's just...
That's scary.
No, we're not Barry. No, you're not Ryan. No, I'm Kai. I'm not Ryan. No,
I need the other Ryan.
No, he's Barry. It's like that's that 3-way Spider-Man meme. Just
Well, we'll put all your beard and glasses knowledge to the test here. Well, there'll be a quiz afterwards. I once worked in an office. I did not know they were identical twins working in the same department. So I think they were both in on it, and they just like knew to like mess with me because it was like my first month there probably, and it was just oh, did you get the email I sent? You didn't send me an email. Oh, okay. And then I email, oh yeah, I got it. I'm like, okay, but why did you? It's just confusion. But offices, fun times. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about what the hell I have on my bench here, because this is something that is. Let's see if I could finagle around the displaying of the things, just so I can get big to show this briefly. So this is one of 2 Macintosh IIci boards a client sent my way. Fixed one of them, but this has been the stubborn one. And full disclosure, I have little hope for this thing, but I'm going to give it the try. And I'm going to scare Kai by showing him the back of this, as he saw in the Tinker Different, which is a very interesting pattern. So this came to me needing a recap. I recapped it. In its current state, the power LED will come on, and that's about it. We don't get a chime. We do get a pop from the speaker, but that's really where I've been stuck. I've replaced all of the axial capacitors. I've resolved a lot of traces that didn't seem to be too happy. And I've swapped over a known good ADB and real-time clock chip to this board. You can see that this capacitor is just flying in the wind here, because at that point I thought, this might be a lost cause. I'm going to put these caps on with extra long leads so I could recoup my cost of these capacitors when the board ends up being a pile of garbage. So, yeah, that's sort of the story behind this. I think where I was last, I was pinning out the VSLI chip. What chip is? Oh, of course, the sticker I put is right over the chip name, but this little bugger here.
Hang on. Is that the?
It was the one you told me about last time.
Was that the RBV RAM-based video?
Well, there's a let's see. Actually have it written down because I knew I wouldn't be able to read this.
I do have the schematics like literally here, so
this is dangerous. Yes, I believe that is the RBV. Yes.
Okay, RAM-based video. Okay. So technically, even if that was faulty, that should still chime.
Yeah. Okay.
So might be worth investigating, like the MDU, or I mean, obviously, like from where you were last time, it would be good to go over like almost page by page of each page of the schematic.
So how many days do you plan on being here?
The next one.
How many days do you plan on being here?
Yeah, we can do a page shortly. Yeah, it doesn't take that long. I mean, measuring voltages, that's the easiest part to do.
So I will get this power supply here. Now this is using this little nice beige ATX adapter. I don't know if you've seen these.
Ooh,
but it's quite new. I'll put a link in the description.
It's beige TX.
Yeah, beige ATX here. And full disclosure, I've had an issue where this does not work on the Macintosh IIci, but it will work on the 2CI, oddly enough. But that's what I've been using just because all of my 2CI and 2CX power supplies have so many refas in them. I'm not even playing with that at this point. So we're gonna just say no to that for a little bit. Jack says I should leave the caps floating up in the air. They have character. Oh,
there's a story to tell here, children.
The story is that I have trouble removing those caps sometimes, and I did not want to give myself that much trouble on a dead board anyway. So. Oh, goodness. All right, let me get
the thunderstorm has just started here, and it is now chucking down with rain.
Oh, that's great. Well, if you disappear, we'll wait for your smoke signal to come back, you know.
I mean, I should be okay, because I'm on gigabit fiber here, which doesn't get affected by telephone poles, but...
electricity might be a problem.
Yeah.
All right, so let's...
Thank you very much, by the way, Eric. And to everybody else, I've just noticed that I've just refreshed and more's come in, and every time something comes in, I'm like, I feel smaller and smaller in my chair.
Oh wow, you're getting closer to your goal, sir.
I know. I might be able to replace my brakes. That's why I drove like an asshole on the way here.
Those are kind of important in a vehicle.
It's every single brake light that can go off on a dashboard is on. It's like, oh, ASC failure, DSC failure, handbrake possibly failure, regular brakes. Who knows at this point? Yeah. When I turn right and I brake, I just hear a kind of noise. I'm like, that's why I'm driving like an asshole. Not because I want to, because I can't stop.
Could you just get a bumper sticker that says I can't stop?
I brake for no one.
Literally, I cannot brake for anyone. All right,
okay.
So I'm going to confirm what I was just telling everybody about how this machine doesn't work, just so if it miraculously starts working, then we have a good baseline here.
Okay.
So I'm going to adjust my very flimsy camera stand here, and we should expect absolutely nothing from this as far as a chime, but we'll find out in a moment. 3, 2, 1. So we get a healthy speaker pop like quite loud, and that's it. What I failed to mention earlier is it seems that no matter if there's memory or not memory in the system, or if there's a ROM installed or not installed, it acts identically, which is weird.
Okay. I have a few questions. So I noticed that one of the Sony sound chips is off the board. Which one is that, A or B?
I believe that is.
So is it UB2 or UB3?
This is actually. I don't think that's the sound chip. Here, let me. There's the serial chip I removed off the board. Let's adjust this so you can actually see what the heck I'm talking about. And I know from the known good board, when I've removed the chip, everything was fine. So hold on, let me.
Oh wait, yeah, no, that's right. So it's one of the 26 LS30s there. Okay,
yeah, let me just get a.
Yeah,
that was the only thing that was getting quite hot under the thermal camera.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, they do fail.
I'm sorry.
They do fail.
Okay.
Like you know, it's not unusual to like even the dip versions of them will suddenly just up and just.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know. Because I thought, oh, I'd have to track down like excessive voltage or something like that. Or...
Mm-hmm. Okay. I've also got the pinouts of most of these chips now as well, in terms of like what their signal names are and what they should be doing.
That shook the house. Sorry. Bit of thunder here.
What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to copy the link and share this with everybody in chat.
Sure.
Because this is a list of ASICs that are used in Apple machines. Again, it's just very early days, but for things like the SE30, the Classic 2, and the SE,
oh, sure.
I've done the pinouts for them. And I did, the other day, the glue chip that's used in the 2CX is also used in the SE30, which kind of makes sense because the SE30 is a shrunk version of a 2CX, but it's also used in the 2X and the 2 as well. Mm. So it gives another possibility for like, oh, if you need a glue chip for an SE30 build and all you've got is a completely wrecked Macintosh 2 board, you can salvage it from there.
Yeah, this is great. I remember I think you started building this when or it was in an earlier state when there was the Classic Reloaded project. Is that
yeah, it was. And I mean, I've still not expanded it outside the initial models yet. I've been trying to build back up. So for example, like the PALs, very difficult to do what the pin out of those are, because obviously the PAL chips themselves they're programmable logic, so they can be whatever you want. And for some of them on the SE30, it's probably okay to put the signal names in of what they do, but I have no idea necessarily for for some other machines that use them, at least not yet anyway. But I mean the big one on there is the 344S0602A. That's on the 2CX, that's the main glue chip which kind of holds everything together, which has, in the 2CI, been rolled into the MDU.
Ah. Oh, there go my lights flickered.
Okay. So, yeah, if you have a look at the sound chip for the not the SE30, I think it's under the... I haven't done it for the Classic yet. Okay, and that's the 20-pin PLCC version. S0042B.
So I would assume the pop from the speaker is just like voltage.
Yeah, that just means power across it. Can we go through and check some of the voltages that are being generated? Okay.
Before I get zero voltages.
Before you get zero voltages, yes, exactly. Okay, so the output of the other side of cap, I think it's C83.
Okay.
So I'm gonna one side should be connected to ground and the other side should go into L13. But you should be measuring plus 12 volts at that point. Hey, Dana.
So I'm going to ground the multimeter with one pin.
Yep.
All right.
Voltage mode.
Turn this on. And I'll point my camera down so you can see.
Okay, doke.
Oops. I always push the wrong mode on this thing. There. Oh, come on. There we go. All right, let's get this nice and zoomed in for you.
Mm-hmm.
If my situation here wants to. There we go. Nice and large with minimal glare, maybe. Go this way. And now the camera's falling on top of it. Hold on. Let me get something heavy to put on there. Something heavier. Heavier. We have a dead hard drive somewhere, maybe? Yes, perfect. That's
Of course you have a dead hard drive, Steve.
I mean, Ron of Ron's computer videos was very helpful in sending me a bunch of them. So whether I'll be successful in my insane...
Is there a reason he's sending you dead hard drives? It's like the nerd equivalent of sending poop in a box.
Oh, come on, you stupid light. Well, hopefully that's good enough. All right, so
yeah.
I will first supply power to the board. And what capacitor did you say?
I can't tell if it's C83 or C148, but I think it's 148 is probably the most likely because 157 and 115 is nearby. So yeah, one side of the cap just goes straight to ground, and the other side feeds into L13.
Okay, so this might be on the bottom of the board.
It might be, or actually, I suppose you could measure just before L13 if you can find that.
All right. I see L6, L11.
Let me bring up Bruce's photography of the 2CI board is actually really good.
Yes, it is.
So I'm going to use that as sort of like a reference guide if I can.
Yeah, if I'm following like the numbers and the letters on the board, if I go to L13, not this, but let's see. Because if I go to the back, I could find L11 right on the opposite side of the ADB ports.
Okay, so
here's L13. Yeah, it's right by the new bus cards.
Yep. Okay, so L13, the input to that should be 12 volts.
So I don't see like a marking one way or the other. So it's
not polarized. So
okay. So I'll find out sooner or later.
So with power on, one side of that should be reading 12 volts.
All right. Yep.
Okay, plus 12 volts. The other side of it. Okay, so you should see.
And the other side.
C53. Output. You got R36 there at all?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Oh, the other side of R36 should be reading plus 11 volts.
It's got 12.
Try the other side of C53, which should be very close.
Both sides of R36 are reading the same.
Okay.
And the same goes for L13. Both read 12.
Can you measure the resistance of R36 and R42 for me, please?
Sure. Let me just adjust my here. And what number is that again?
So R36 and R42 should be 10 ohm.
So I do like each side of R36 across?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, just straight resistance. They should be 10 ohm each.
Let's see if I remember. That is this mode, correct? With the little happy ohm guy.
Yeah, that's the one.
All right, great. Yeah. You're upside down. That's very helpful to you. All right, so let's try this again. So
you don't necessarily need power across there, but I mean certainly they should still read a 10 ohm.
So that's 36?
36 and 42 should both be 10 ohm.
So that's 36.
3 ohm.
Let me make sure this is actually getting a good connection there. Sorry, the wire's right across, of course.
Yeah, it's 4.1, 4.2. Yeah, that's way out of spec.
Okay.
R42 should be 10 ohm as well.
All right, let's see. R29, R30, R42, right below it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's way too low.
You want me to try with the power on?
You can try with the power on. I don't think it'll make much difference, but basically those should be 10 ohm, and if they're that low, that's 4 ohm or 5 ohm. That's going to affect the 11 volt. I know it's probably not like a lot, but it's just indicative of like if a lot of components are out of whack, certainly in the power stages, you're going to be sending some very funny voltages to chips.
Yeah, that's nothing when it's on.
I mean, I'd mark R30. I mean, if you've got like a notepad and a pen, just to note down like what you might need to replace or swap out.
Yeah, let me. Yeah, that's interesting. What they're very unhappy now that power is being applied. So I'll get a note here.
They're not doing so much resistance. That looks more like a dead short.
It could be, although I'm surprised. I guess the system is the soft power is working, but there may be a short. That's.
I mean, soft power will work anyway because the TTL logic that's there will work at silly voltages anyway.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So this is basically just I'm going through on page 1 of 7 of the Beaumark schematics going through here, and essentially what comes off pin 1 of the PSU connector on the board. That's basically your plus 12 volts, and then at the other side you've got plus 11 volts. And the plus 11 volts gets fed into the Sony sound chips as the amplifier.
Oh, okay.
But also, because they're fed 11 volts and the Sony sound chips are also responsible, at least the left one, is responsible for generating the reset line.
And the sound chips are the...
UB2 and UB3.
I'm sorry, UV3?
UB2 and UB3.
I am writing those down. All right. So
somebody else on Tinker Different the other day that was having a problem. I think it was the 2CX. And again, that has the same setup for the sound and also the reset lines as well. And essentially the left sound chip generates the reset for pretty much everything in the system bar one chip. Although I'm not sure if that changes too much with the 2CI.
Yeah, let's see. So yeah, we have our silly capacitor there.
The reset on those chips is pin 6.
Pin 6, okay. It's on both?
On both chips. So you got like an A reset for the left and a B reset for the right. So UB2 pin 6 and UB3 pin 6 is reset.
Got it. Interesting. So I'm writing that down too. Now, would there be a way to test? I guess that pin goes like high or low to reset. Is that correct?
Exactly. Yeah. So that's the thing with an oscilloscope.
Yeah.
You should be able to. I mean, even I don't know with a voltmeter, you might be able to. Have you got Logic Probe at all? Like,
well, this just looking at it, this trace here, this is 6, right?
Yeah.
And this, I mean, just looking at the color of this right here, kind of, if I could get the darn focus in. Nope, wrong way, Stephen. Go the other way. And that doesn't look, as Bruce would say, not too crash hot.
No. But then you can also measure for continuity between the various other pins that reset will hook into. Yeah,
so let me just scrape that out of the way here to get a good point. Yeah, I mean looks fine underneath, but who knows?
Yeah. So pin 40 on the ASC would be a good candidate because that's nearby. That's UE5.
All right, so UE5
pin 40
is this guy right here. And look, pin 40 is even labeled for us. How about
so pin 40 to pin 6. If you're getting continuity there, then that means that at least the line out of the left sound chip is intact.
All righty. So let's see. Apologies for the focus here, but Yep.
Okay, so you got continuity there. Good. Okay. And again, from pin 40 is probably a good place to measure every other reset pin because it's easy to kind of get your probe in, and you're not going to smash anything else as well. So, do you want to do a quick round the horn of various things with that reset line to make sure all those chips on that reset line are being
Let's do
set? Okay, so let's see. Swim chip, pin 25 on UA11.
All right. So I see UG11, UD11, UA11. Okay, pin 25, you said?
Pin 25.
All right. So we have 28, 27, 26, 25. Okay.
Okay, good. So your ASC and your swim and your left-hand chip all connected together. Pin 4 of UA13.
Okay, so UA13, that's the ADB chip.
Yep.
And what pin was that again?
Pin 4.
Pin 4. Okay. Yep.
Okay, good. Okay, UD11. Hang on. UD11 is the VR. Okay, so the VIAs, those 65C222s, you've got UD11.
Yep, I see that.
And you've got, it looks like UE9 next to it. Well, they're both exactly the same. Pin 37 on those.
Okay, yep, that's on the VIA chip, the VLSI chip, UD11.
Yeah, okay, and the one that's identical that should be next to it.
I don't on this one there is I'll show you.
So you should have
so that's the one
UD11
and the swim is up here and the SCSI's over here.
Okay. Hang on, I'm just having a look, let me just quickly look at Bruce's schematic. I could have sworn there was a second one on there. I know. Yeah, no, I know why. There isn't. Well, I know why there isn't one now. Okay, no, never mind. Okay, so let's continue with the other ones.
Sure.
So yeah, we've done UD11. Now we've done. I'm just having a quick look to see if the SCSI controller has a reset line on it. I don't think it does.
Okay.
Because I think a large part of that is actually controlled by the VIA, which itself is being put in reset. Reset A, reset B.
What about the what was the name of that? What about the RBV? Would that be have a reset line to it?
It would. Here we go. SCSI. I just found it. Pin 7 on the SCSI controller, 53C80.
We're good on that.
We're good on that one. Okay. Okay. The CPU.
Yep.
Let's just make sure that this is coming through on the CPU side of things as well. RSD pin 64.
Okay. Let me make sure that's the right one. I mean, it's beeping, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep, I believe that is happy.
Okay. On the FPU, the 68882.
Yep.
You're looking for pin 13.
13. All right. 10, 11, 12, 13. Yep.
Okay, good. ROM sim doesn't get reset at all. It just gets a ROM select signal. And all right, I'm moving down to... Okay, so you've got the parity generator chip pads below the oscillator next to the RAM sim sockets. The PGC, the parity generator chip, is just an unpopulated pad.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah. Where is it?
That's filled in on some models, correct?
It is, but only the ones that were purchased by the US government. Everyone else just didn't get it at all. That one actually has no reset line on. That's weird. Okay. Moving on. Never mind. Okay. Bus transceivers. So the new bus, again, shouldn't make too much of a difference. I'm just going to check in these to see if there's a reset line for these.
As you do that, I'm dragging the pins around. Nothing yet.
Nothing there.
No.
I don't think. Okay, so the new chip, UK2.
UK, yep, okay.
Pin 30.
All right. Yep, pin 30.
Okay. Reset line's good there. Right, the RBV. This is UE9. Pin 91.
91, okay.
Okay, You got it there. UK 11, and that's the MDU. Right. So pin 91 on the MDU goes to pin 6 of the other sound chip.
Okay.
So the other sound chip is the one that's responsible for generating the reset line for that one.
And so which
pin 6 on the pin 6 on the other Sony sound chip.
Okay. And that is what the number is that? Hang
on, that is UB3.
UB3. Where the heck is that? Oh, there it is.
UB3 pin 6.
Pin 6. Yep.
Okay, and pin 91 on the MDU, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so at least we can conclude that all of the reset lines are all connected together and nothing won't be out of whack, like if the reset signal is being generated. Okay?
Good. $5 says it's something stupid simple.
What I would be interested in the last time, because do you remember last time I was like, yeah, can you measure the oscillators? And unfortunately, your meter doesn't measure frequencies that high.
It didn't seem to, yes, but I do have another meter. I don't know if it does any better. But
by the way, Joe from Joe's Computer Museum, thank you. I've got to say thank you very much to Joe in person, mostly because his donation was one of the single largest donations of my entire fundraiser.
Joe,
I'm incredibly grateful.
Thank you, Joe. And yes, Joe's store has a blue SCSI sale, which is very dangerous because I don't necessarily need any more. I have this many. I have this many. But Joe has a sale, so very dangerous. So Joe, put a link to your store in there so people can take advantage of your kind sale on your blue SCSI peripherals. I highly recommend them. Let me look up the documentation for this multimeter, see if it does anything different. And that would be what type of functionality am I looking for, Kai? Refresh my poo brain.
Frequency. Incidentally, I hope nobody minds, but I've not eaten, and my wife very kindly ordered me a double Big Mac. So
it is the 4th of July here. So if there was no grilling related things here, there would be a problem, I guess. I could be sued by the government.
Not patriotic enough. We've got burgers.
Yeah, not patriotic enough. All right, so this is a ZTX True RMS digital multimeter by God knows what brand. But we want to know the frequency here.
I mean, if it can only do 10 megahertz or something, then yeah, okay, we don't need to worry about that too much.
Let's see. It says 99 megahertz to 2 megahertz. Oh, I'm sorry, 99 hertz to 2 megahertz is this one here. So
okay,
that sounds like it is too low because I think we said 10.
yeah.
Okay.
You need to be more like 50.
So let's see, KM 601.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Okay.
I think we looked this up before, but I think
that one only goes to, I think, 10 megahertz.
Well, I think I measured the one of the crystals, and it did show it. But let's double check here.
That'll be the clock crystal, which is 32.768 kilohertz.
Yeah. So let's see. Maybe that's why. There was a list here. Now I can't find it. Here we are. I mean, oh no, I have to buy yet another multimeter, you know. I love how the description just says frequency multimeter. All right, so this says 99 kilohertz to 9.9 megahertz.
Yeah, not high enough.
So
you need 50 megahertz or more, ideally.
Yeah. And Joe is preaching to the choir. You need a cheap oscilloscope. Hey, Javier, how's it going? Yeah, I do. Some very nice individual did offer one, so I will likely take them up on that. But so until then, we're a bit underwhelmingly prepared for some of this. But unless you could just shove one through your end on their Kai, and it'll just appear on all of them.
Push through my 100 megahertz O1. Okay.
Oh no, there was some packet loss. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So we've got reset lines across everything. There's no breaks anywhere. So nothing should be failing to come out of reset.
Yeah, I guess where I'm so interested is like the board is seemingly not getting to the point where it's picky about RAM or ROM. Like it's like acting the same no matter what is plugged into it.
It's not executing code.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what's on the ROMs there. It's either. I know you said you tried it with the ROM sim, and that was obviously with the jumper in place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's I'm sorry. It's I forget. I always forget with these boards. The jumper in means to select the sim or not. I forget.
I would just verify that with the. Oh.
I did test this ROM on the other one. I think it was
with the jumper is on board. Without the jumper is the.
That's what I was doing. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, here we'll do the same thing now, just in case anything miraculously decide to work.
So okay, do you want to go back to checking voltages across everything?
Sure. So let's turn this on just for funsies. Yeah, so that's with it using the third-party ROM, which does work successfully in the other 2CI.
And the other one, okay. Does it still work successfully, or have you barbecued it in this one?
I certainly hope not. However, this is at the promote. This is from KMac Vintage. It's a new programmer. A bunch of smart people resurrected the old project, and so I bought this from him and got, I believe it's a 4 meg sim there. So these are available on his Ko-Fi. I'm sure if you do a search for KMac Vintage, you'll come right up because it does for me. And this was very simple. I'm doing a review on this and writing some documentation for this. So that's a fun little tool to have at our disposal, which is great because a lot of these are. Let's see. Elemento has a question. Do you have a scope? Yeah, I do not currently, but you might have something open or contended. That is a good assumption. Yeah,
you know that the soft power circuit is working.
Yeah, because if I use this, I haven't tried. To be fair, I haven't tried an original power supply. I am using this beige ATX adapter, which supports soft power. So the keyboard will power it up, or the button will power it up.
Okay, so I mean, between ground and the other side of D7, which It might be on the back.
Oh, D6. All right.
It should have D7 and D8. They kind of face into one another.
Let's see.
Connected to C137, which is looks like a ceramic.
I see C147, C139, C138, C136. Damn it. It's so close yet so far. Check the other side here. Nothing there. So yeah, must be on the back here. Let's move the scope out of the way here. So C137 is what we're after, correct?
Yeah, C137 and D7 are kind of connected to one another.
All right.
D6, D3, D4 is on the top side. So...
Yeah, I see D9 and 10 on the rear, but I'm not seeing any others. D3, D4, D5, D6, Q4, Q3. Oh, here's D7 and D8. It's by the real-time clock.
Aha.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I see them. Okay, so the output from D7 meets up with the output of C137, which I think might very well be on the back side of the board. But basically, you should be able to measure from directly out of the output of that D7. That should be plus 4 volts.
So the input, is that the left, right, or the middle here? Sorry to put you on the spot.
Oh god, which diodes are those? They're 5D, which is MMBD914.
And a quick hello to everyone in the chat. We've been heads down yelling at this thing, so my apologies if we haven't said hello.
When you've got 2 pins on the bottom and the one on top, that's the one you want to be measuring. So between ground and the top pin, the middle top pin.
All right, so like either or doesn't matter. Well, we'll do both.
No, between ground, you want one probe on ground, and you want the positive on the top middle pin.
Okay. So what I'm going to do, poopy. I keep pushing the wrong buttons on this multimeter because I get overexcited. I blame you, Kai, but that's okay. So ground is the one on the left here, seemingly, because that connects to ground on the system. All right, so I'm going to turn this into the voltage mode, and we're going to do.
So yeah, just put it on like anywhere on the chassis ground.
Or should I just do the device the D ground? Doesn't matter.
No, because the D ground will go into R111, which then goes to ground, so you won't get a true reading. So you need to.
That's why you're here. Mm-hmm. All right, so let me clip this to ground, and I'll turn the system on. We'll go into voltage mode.
Voltage, and then that top pin there should be reading 4 volts.
4.6.
4.6. Okay. On the other side of it, the input
here,
other leg, the left leg, right? That should be reading 5.
Yes.
Okay. So it is doing its job there. Okay. Excuse me. Someone's cooking.
That's a loud multimeter.
1 second. She can't reach.
Take your time.
That's all right, darling. Smells nice. I'm not being sarcastic. It genuinely smells nice. It's bacon. There's not a smoke alarm. There's a bacon alarm.
It's done. Yes, this is a Joe keen eye saw that this is Ron of Ron's computer video shirt with a leaking PRAM battery. I love it. So that's it's a shirt we're wearing today. Yes, Sean of Action Retros.
We have continuity. Very much so. There's continuity between the bacon and the pan. Congratulations, we found it.
You found it. Stream's over. We're good. We fixed it.
Okay. Okay. So I know that last stream you checked the output of Q2 for the minus 5 volt. So we know we've got plus 12, plus 11, plus 4, plus 5, minus 5, and the minus 12 we'll have to have because otherwise Q2 won't engage.
You said it, not me.
I will stake my reputation on that. Okay, so it's just basically while the machine is on, finding out what else is correctly powered. Okay, so let's try with the basics here. So let's see if the CPU has power.
Okay.
So 68,000. Okay. Do you see what R62 is on board?
Let's see. I would assume it's on the bottom. Let's try. R72, R65, R64, R63, getting closer.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, R62.
So R62.
It's under the CPU.
It's under the CPU, so that should be measuring voltage.
Let's take a good look at this because it looks a little funky. Probably nothing, but let's just take a look see, shall we?
Those traces do not look happy.
Yeah, isn't that nice? It's a nice little gift. Where the hell did I see it? There it is. No, okay, that's fine. But yeah, you can see all this lovely stuff, which is why I'm very, very eager to just say, nope, it's screwed, because, but in its defense, every one of these stupid traces has continuity. Which is, obviously there could be other problems. But at least to each other, they have continuity.
Mm-hmm.
Watch me prove myself wrong here. I'd be happy to. I'd be happy to find a problem that I could throw some solder at. Anyway. Yeah, I mean that's connected all right. But look how pretty all of these are.
See, that's what's worrying me about the inside of that. It looks like the layers are delaminating.
Oh, that's fine. It'll buff right out.
Well, actually, that one above the one. Let's see, that white component there. Is that what's that one labeled?
That's C103.
C103. Does that? Okay. Yeah. No, it is. It's. Again, all of those vias look a bit dull.
They look beautiful. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And this is after an ultrasonic clean.
Oof. Oh, hang on. You got broken trace there.
No. Just. Well, let's do an inspection.
Underneath where it comes out of R62.
Where it comes out of
the one below it.
Oh, I see. It looks like it goes under the white. Yeah.
Okay.
It goes under that. Damn, I got excited.
We found. Oh no, we didn't. Okay. Okay. So on the top side of the board, is it still powered? Yeah.
I have to put power into it.
Okay. So obviously you've still got the ground lead on, yeah.
I will put it back on.
Okay. Put the ground lead on. I want to see at pin 4. Okay, which one's the easiest one to do? It would be pin 49 on the CPU is a power pin.
Pin 49, you said?
49. I just want to know if that's being powered or not.
Okay, so if I power it on,
So if you power it on and pin 49.
All right, let's get situated here. Pin 49 is this one here.
Yep.
All right, so let's power this sucker on. $5 volts.
Okay, 5 volts there. Can you measure while it's still on? Pins on the FPU. 52, 53 would be a good one because they're both the same.
All right, so we have 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. What'd you say? 50?
52 and 53 should be plus 5 volts as well.
Yep, that's plus 5.
Okay,
And that's
so
also
CPU,
plus 5.
So CPU, yeah, they're all tied together. Okay, so they're all getting power. Let's make sure that the MDU is getting power as well. So for that pin 2 of the MDU,
MDU, which one is that again?
That's UK11.
UK11. UK2. UK11 is over here, the MDU. And what pin? I'm sorry.
Pin 2.
Pin 2. All the way. Hold on. So it should be where the white. Wait. Oh yeah, duh. Pin 2. Yep, that's 5 volts as well.
5 volts there. Okay, let's check the RBV, which is right, pin 15.
15. All right.
Sorry, that's the new chip. Sorry, 15 on the new chip.
Oh,
which is new chip UK2. UK2.
All right. Sorry. That's okay. So I have UK2. Pin 2, you said?
UK2 pin 15.
Oh, 15. Sorry. 5 volts.
5 volts. Okay. Okay. Now we want UE9.
Oh, Joe. All right. UE9. Is that the RBV?
Yep, and that's pin 2.
Pin 2. Okay. That is 5 volts as well.
Okay.
Should we just start bending it and flexing it?
Geek for Social, so not just any Big Mac, a double Big Mac.
A double Big Mac.
Set to yes.
Set to yes.
That's one of the best things about the McDonald's app. You can just go, yes, what would you like extra? I want extra cheese. How much? Yes.
Yeah, yes.
I want extra gherkins. I want extra cheese. I want extra bacon.
Might as well just give me a whole extra sandwich at this point.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the funniest things you can do with the triple cheeseburger here in the UK. If you get the double cheeseburger, you can add the extra patty to make it a triple cheeseburger for less than the price of a triple cheeseburger.
McDonald's hacks.
But then, in the mornings for the breakfast menu, the McMuffins that they do, you can get the double sausage and egg McMuffin, and then you can add an extra sausage patty and an extra egg and double extra cheese. And the McMuffin is, I'm not even kidding, it's like that tall and you can't get it in your mouth.
Oh. Yeah, I would also, my original thought was there is something going on with a trace somewhere. I mean, I've everything that has looked suspect I've pinned out, but there's always something that eludes you.
Okay, so we've got power going to pretty much everything that would require power, which is good. We know that reset is active low. So
should I? Is there anything I could do to measure, like pushing the reset or the interrupt buttons?
Yes, you could actually. So if you are connecting one probe to ground,
yep.
What we can do is
what mode would the multimeter be in? Would it be continuity?
Just continuity.
Okay.
Or actually voltage. Voltage would be a better indicator, probably.
Okay.
because that's continuity with extra bits.
With extra bits.
Okay, so let's. We need something that we can measure. Yeah, pin 40 on the ASC. That was an easy one. So that's UE5, pin 40.
UE5, pin 40. Okay, so
Okay. Murph has come. Hello, Murph. Say hello to Murph, everybody.
Oh, let's make Murph big.
It's Murph. And he's staring into the middle distance, as he so often does. Hello, Murph. You're all soggy.
UE5. Okay, here we go. Pin 30, you said?
Mm-hmm. Pin 40.
Oh, pin 40. I'm sorry. I know there was a 0.
So pin 40 is reset. So with it on, what's it reading?
0.3 volts.
0.3 volts. Right, now hit the reset button.
Okay. 0. So it's like, okay, so right now it's at like 0.8. And if I reset it, it goes to 0 briefly. So I would assume that's working. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, that, again, if you had a scope, you'd be able to see the trace, but essentially that should be, you turn it on and it's, actually it should go low and then high, actually. I wonder if this is being pulled out, if this isn't leaving the reset state. So everything's on, everything's working, but it's waiting to execute code, but it can only do that when the reset is not active low.
So here is, without me pushing it, it's about like it's actually gaining, which is interesting. It started off low, and now it's almost at 1. Well, that's steadying out, but if I hold reset for a second, it goes to 0, then it comes back.
Okay. So it is climbing. Okay.
Is it going to explode?
No. I mean that should hit 1.5 ish.
Yeah, it looks like it goes a bit above that, then it comes down a little bit.
Okay. So the voltage on reset. Okay, that's very normal. Okay. Okay. I'm just trying to think. The reset switch is linked to. Okay,
can you lick next?
Okay, so instead of ASC pin 40, can you move that to pin 6 of UB3?
UB3. That's the other sound chip,
That's
correct?
the other sound chip, yeah.
And what pin did you say? I'm sorry.
Yeah, just pin 6.
Okay, so that's. Sorry, it's very, very close here. Pin 6. Okay.
Right. Okay, and then hit the reset button if you can.
Oops, sorry. Hard to do two things at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to have a similar effect.
Okay, so reset's being correctly sorted by those sound chips. So they're not, at least I don't think that they would be at fault here.
Yeah, I tried on both UB2 and UB3, and they both react the same way.
Okay. I mean, aside from the fact that when you turn it on, you should get the chime, but the chime would indicate that you're executing code from the ROM, which has the chime inside it. So has the board got the ROM sim in it? Did you say, or
I can put it right in it? Yep.
No, don't put it in it.
Okay.
So I'm using like the ROMs themselves.
Yep.
I want to see if on those ROMs there's any kind of activity on there.
Okay. Let me bring the camera a bit closer to the multimeter here.
Okay, so on those ROM chips, right, pin 24 of those. What is, again, so with one lead constantly on ground, what is pin 24 reading?
24. Okay. This is going to require me to do some counting. It's
they're 32 pin. They're 32 pin ROMs. So
yeah,
go back 8 spots from pin 32.
And it's counterclockwise, correct?
Yes, correct.
So yeah, this one here is just here. I'll show you what confused me. There's a 1 here. Which I would assume pin
Yeah, that's 1 for
here.
the sim socket. That's the
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I'm easily confused. That's the problem.
So where that 1 is, that's pin 32 on that ROM.
Okay. All right. So we need 24. You said
pin 24. That's output enable.
Okay. So pin 24. We get 1 point. Well, actually went a little low. But that's without me pushing anything.
Okay. Yeah, of the Which ones are these?
Should I just put it in a vat of acid and see what survives?
I'm just trying to think which. So sorry, what did you say output enable was on that in terms of voltage?
I'll do it again. So this is 24. It's about
half a volt.
Yeah, half a volt.
Okay, half a volt.
And yes, Gutbomb, it has been ultrasonically cleaned. That has not changed its behavior much, it seems. I mean, I'd settle for a death chime at this point.
Yeah, I mean, a death chime will at least show that it's executing code. Let me just double check the specs of that, because I want to see what the output enable is for those.
Sure.
Or what it should be in order for it to come out. TC53 AP. Okay. Data sheets. I love data sheets of old stuff.
Data sheets are great. I'm also glad, Joe, that my laugh is infecting your household. And Kai's fundraiser is dangerously close to completion, at least to the mark that he originally set. We're 3315 out of 3,500.
And again, just thank you to everybody who has put anything towards us, even just the kind comments. It really does and has made an absolutely life-changing difference. It has. Not just to me as well, but my lovely wife who's in the kitchen cooking dinner.
And as Kai put it, his stupid cats.
And my 3 very stupid cats. Aha, here we go. Cross-reference. I'm looking for the Toshiba 53C1000. 531000. That's also a...
Oh, and Macintosh Librarian is making it out to VCF Midwest. Or VCF West, rather. I thought she said Midwest. I got excited. But that's exciting. Worthless is what we call our cats, says Starbuck.
Come here, Worthless. Dinner time, Worthless.
Who's a good Worthless?
Okay, right, here we go. Here's the... Oh, wow, this is such a... Oh, my God. Yeah, I found the data sheet, and half of it is like really badly scanned and scrubbed out.
Oh, that's great.
That's really helpful, that is.
There was actually I wonder if anybody watching this was the bidder on it. There was a schematic on eBay for, I think it was an original Macintosh or Mac Plus. I don't know if you saw that one. It didn't go for too much. I think it went for about $56. It was $1 over my bid.
Right.
And of course, the only reason I wanted it was to scan the darn thing. But it did go. I can't find the darn link. Let me see if I can find it here. Yes, show me what I did not win. Here we go. Yeah, it went for $56. I'll share my screen for a moment here. And it's interesting because it's by a company. What's this company called? By Back-Tech Mac Megabytes. Oh, that's one of their products. They were, I guess, advertising. But it's what the heck is it? I guess it's Back-Tech is the name of the company. But it's a main logic board schematic, and they had additional schematic. And the design of it is quite fun. So I don't know if they made others this company, but I was like, oh, that's interesting, because I think, yeah, this says copyright 85. Let me see if we can zoom into this image at all. Yeah, posters provide informational, educational purposes only. Back-Tech makes no warranty.
Oh, Beck-Tech.
Beck-Tech, I'm sorry.
I have that.
Oh, good. I'm glad I didn't buy it.
I have it. I have a very large, SVG of it, the one-to-one, the original.
Well, I'm glad you saved me $50. How about that?
Yeah.
If you could scan that or something, that'd be cool.
Okay.
Or make it available to some crazy person like me.
Okay. So output enable, I would say that's low at the moment. So what's chip enable? Chip enable should be...
Oh no, Drake is here.
So what's pin 22? So 24 was 0.5, 0.6 volt.
Yep.
What is pin 22?
That's an excellent question. Let's find out. We have to play the counting game over again because Steven's brain is dumb. 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. Bupkis.
Nothing. Okay, I think I might know what's going on then.
Yeah.
So according to the schematics, okay, so these are 128K by 8 CMOS mask ROMs.
Yep.
Normally they're like made by Toshiba or rebranded. Some of them might even be marked as Toshiba. But
yeah, I think this one is.
We came across a similar problem on the classic Reloaded, whereby it would turn on, the speaker would pop, but there wouldn't be anything happening, and that was because the output enable of the chip was wrongly selected, wasn't connected to anything. So the ROM was never told, yes, you can execute code now.
Huh.
Now, for that, there's a truth table for operation. So operating, either chip enable and output enable have to be low, or chip enable has to be low, or output enable has to be high to operate.
Huh.
But that's output deselect. So to read, they've both got to be low. But that's the thing. Output enable, you're getting some voltage, and chip enable, you're not.
Yeah, so let's 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24. We get 0, 1, 3.
Yeah.
And then 22, we get 0. And I'll try on the next one too. Same thing.
Yeah, try again measuring what output enable and the chip enable is. So 24 and 22 across all 4 of those chips.
Well, on this one, 24 is 0. So the 2 right ROMs, 24 is 0.
Right.
And the same for 22. But the 2 left ones, 24 is, at least it gives me a little bit of something.
Okay. Just checking TTL voltage levels. Yeah, anything less than 0.4 volts is considered as in low. So okay, no, scratch that. So if they're both low and there's valid data on the address bus, it should be outputting something. Now the only thing I can kind of think of at this point is, again, with one probe on the ground.
Yep.
I want to see what some of the address lines are doing. So pins 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 of each one of those should be the address line. So pin 1 is not connected, but 2 to 12 are. So again, if we can measure voltage on any of those, and there should be some.
Sure.
Again, without an oscilloscope, it's difficult to see, but it'd be nice to see if we can see some TTL logic level voltage on those pins.
Yeah. All right. So let me just get that into view a bit better for you. All right. So 2 through 12, you said?
Yes, 2 through 12.
All right. So this is 2,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Goose egg for all of them. Let me try the one next to it. Shut up, multimeter. 2, 3. That went to negative for a second, it looked like.
Yeah.
So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
It looks like there's no activity on the address bus at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so the ROMs aren't being prevented from executing code, but there's nothing to execute.
Well, that's lovely.
What would cause the code not to execute? Funnily enough, at this point, the most obvious thing is the actual CPU. That's all I can think of. That's the thing. Is it getting warm at all with the power connected?
Let's see. Oh, yeah, it's actually a little bit warm. Yeah.
Okay, it's a little bit warm.
The FPU is not, but the CPU is pretty warm.
Yeah, FPU won't be engaged unless it starts executing code and the CPU actually tells it to turn on, basically. I mean, obviously, voltage will be passing through it, but it won't really be doing anything. Plus, those FPUs, they don't chuck out a lot of heat anyway.
Yeah, I'm just seeing if there was a pin that got loose or anything. I mean, everything looks fine, but I could go one by one and,
So there's, again, I'm having a look down here at the ROMs for various signals of what could, because obviously what is selecting the ROM, I think in this machine is the MDU. MDU, right? What's it doing?
That's UK11, right?
Yes, that's correct. That's UK11.
I should run up and get my little temperature gauge thingamajig to take a photo. See if it's been on for probably the longest I've ever had it on. See if anything's getting scorching hot that I'm not aware of. So I will leave you to your own devices for one moment. I'll be right back. Don't break anything.
Yeah, it does need a wipe over with some IPA. It does. Gut Bomb, that's a very good question. Problem is the 4 ROM chips aren't socketed. They are directly soldered to the board. I suppose... actually, that's not a bad idea. You could still measure if we pulled the... I'll reach through the screen. Again, thinking out loud here. If we can... remove the jumper to put it into ROM sim mode, but without a ROM sim in it, and then we can measure the address lines again and see if anything appears there. Yeah, although anything above 0.8 volts is a TTL logic level high. I mean, ideally, TTL voltage level of maybe even just 2 volts would be considered a high, just about. Ideally, yeah, between 2.7 and 5 volts. Just trying to think of any other reason why it wouldn't be executing code. That's essentially the problem. It's not executing code. So if there's nothing wrong with the ROMs and they're not blank, it should still be putting something out somewhere. There's only so much on the schematics you can kind of check over without an oscilloscope. IIci, so right, MDU, right, let's find the pins of the MDU and what they're going to and what they're doing. I don't think they're doing anything else.
Well, I couldn't seem to have found my little thingamajig, but this might be helpful. I don't know if this could do anything like a logic probe or anything, but I picked up one of these little flipper majigs.
Oh, the Flipper Zero, nice.
And it has a whole bunch of breakout things. I'm not sure if there's any probing functionality built in. I did put some fancy firmware on here that apparently gives me a whole lot of abilities, let's say. Let's see. I have remotes and NFC and infrared and GPIO thingamajigs. I don't think there's anything built in here.
Nah. I was just saying while you were off camera, Steve, that there might be a way of seeing whether or not the machine's going to do what's called walking the bus.
Okay.
And basically trying to sort of probe the pins, which is remove the jumper.
Yeah.
As if you were going to put in a ROM. But don't put in a ROM.
Yeah.
And then you can still measure on the ROM pins of the address lines.
See if we're getting the same voltage.
Yeah, exactly. See if there's anything going to it at all, which should be a TTL voltage level of between 2 and 2.7. Well, 2 to 5 is normal.
Okay.
2.7 is ideal.
So I have, I just did that. I removed the jumper.
Okay. Still got power, yeah?
And you're on the floor. Yes, so the power is on, but I turned it off as I did that. Should I probe like pin 24 again or on the...
No, not pin 24. So again, do 2 to 12 on the ROM chips to see if there's any activity on the bus at all from the address side of things.
All right, so this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Oh, hang on. Pin 12. That's still not TTL low. Yeah. Try the data bus, which is pins 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
So that's... make sure I have this right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, so this is 13.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
this
is too low.
14.
15.
15. And
17. 17.
Get my probe over there. Oops. That's 17.
Okay. 18, 19, 20, 21.
18, 19, 20, 21.
Yeah, it's almost like, there's no activity on either the address bus or the data bus. Huh. Like literally zero, nothing. It's
now wouldn't that be expected with the jumper removed to read from the other ROM? To read from the other ROM.
So if you that's the thing, you're not completely cutting those ROMs off though. All that jumper does is that changes the output enable and switches the output enable from the chips to the socket. The actual address bus pins are not disconnected. The data bus pins are not disconnected. So you can still measure the address of the data bus from those pins.
Mm-hmm.
I did just think of something.
Yeah, sure.
You've got your snooper card, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Did you say you plugged that snooper card into that board?
I did, but we could do it again just for your amusement.
It would be interesting to see, because that would at least sort of flash to see if there's a clock going.
And it was not.
It was not.
But let's, through the miracle of television, this might work. So, might do something different. Let's get the microscope out of the way for a moment. And let's move this around. I do have a second camera here, which is not going to do anything for me. So we'll just use this one here, because you don't need to see me. This is more important here. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna turn the machine on.
Yep.
Oh, we get a clock blinking.
Okay, so we've got a clock, which would presumably be system clock. Any activity on ADB?
No, but it's not plugged in. So let me do that. And I will pop up the manual for this, because it does give you like what's expected. Try this again. So we do have power from ADB.
Okay.
Let me just make this big so it's a bit easier for you to read.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so voltages are all good. Power's good. No activity on the bus. No ADB at all.
Yeah, I mean, the minus 12 volt is a little bit dimmer slightly, but I mean, it's still lit up.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that, because we measured the voltages directly pretty much out of the diodes, and we were getting like pretty much bang on 12.
High quality blink blocks.
I mean, like Gutbomb says, it would make sense if this is being held in reset somewhere.
Yeah.
And obviously, from a voltage perspective, it looks like, obviously it's it's active low at first, and then it goes high. But whether or not that's actually like correct or not, or what it's doing beforehand, that's what I want to see. I want to see the waveform of what the reset line looks like. And also, thank you. My beard is majestic, but also it's also quite scruffy. Yeah, from the side there. Just.
So I'm going to bring up on screen, if I can do this correctly. This is the manual for the Snooper hardware card. And actually, you know what? Let me download the PDF of this instead of trying to zoom in. Let's share that instead, because then I have a bit more control of where we're viewing.
Gutbomb, yes, this is, and it's exactly the same Sony sound chips, just in PLCC format. We've measured from pin 6 on both, and there's continuity between all of the things that should be connected to the relevant reset lines. Without scope, measuring voltage has shown that the reset line is low to begin with, but then rises to about 1.5 volts over time.
All right, so now that I have this downloaded, let's open up, because this actually tells us what to expect those lights to do, and if they're not doing something, etc. So let's bring this open on this screen here. And we'll do a nice zoom in here, and then now I could click on share, and we've only wasted precious moments of everybody else's lives.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, so this says, here's the reference chart: brightly lit, dimly lit, steady, continuous flash, irregular flash, bright with occasional dimming or blinking, then off.
Okay. So what does it say for under activity for off?
All right, so activity, normal is the clover, and the clover is irregular flash, sometimes flashing rapidly. So I'm assuming there is no
off
activity.
Asterisk. New bus is locked up.
Yeah. See section 3-6. So let's see what happens if I just turn the. Well, let's see what happens if I press reset. Absolutely nothing. Interrupt.
What if you hit the NMI interrupt button?
Yeah, I just did that. Even holding it for a second doesn't seem to do much of anything. Now,
So not just reset the NMI programmers button.
I'm sorry?
The programmers button, not the reset, the other one.
Yes, that's why I'm pushing. Okay. I did notice something here. Let me see if I can add this. Let me turn on my capture thing here. Because I think you'd find this mildly interesting. Mm-hmm. We'll see. If I could click the darn right button here. Come on, Steven. There we go. So if I turn this on and I not spill alcohol all over the board, which I almost did. Let's plug video in because I want to show you what I was noticing before, which was interesting. If I plug this in, and where the heck did my extra camera go? Come on, do something. Hold, please. This solution is extremely finicky, even for my standards.
Is such a thing possible, Steve?
You better believe it.
The king of jank.
Extra super jank. The best jank quality this side of the Hudson River. All right, let's just unplug things and shove them back in. And the computer's angry at me now, but that's okay. If the computer is not angry at me, we're not doing our job. Okay, so changing that on the video scaler. There we go. Okay, so let's do this one more time, just for funsies. Extra camera, select the camera, share the camera, add the camera. There we go. Okay, so this screen should show you what I'm seeing on the machine when I turn it on. So when I turn the system on, I get a black screen. It recognizes the resolution. But when I press reset, I get a flash. Now, it used to be yellow.
Okay.
Now we're getting white. I think the color just changes randomly. But what's interesting is if I remove the ROM or anything, or remove the memory, I get the exact same behavior.
Okay.
I mean, we could do a light show.
You know that actually, I just had a thought that what that might be is basically that's uninitialized RAM that it's outputting because it's RAM-based video. So it's essentially going to take whatever logic level it's thrown into the bus, whether it's on the data or the address bus, and it's going to display it as something.
Okay.
You know, like how on like a Classic or an SE30, when you've got when it's not initializing the RAM properly, you get sort of like the Samazimac checkerboard pattern, but sometimes with snow. And what that is that's basically random bits in the memory being flipped to 0 or 1 because it's like, well, it's got no clock input, it's got no data flow input. But yeah, exactly like Gutbomb says, it's it's a Samazimac essentially, but you're not getting a chime because it's not executing code. It's not executing code because.
But Gutbomb, it's not as pretty. All we do is get a solid color.
And right.
One bit light show.
Actually, Frodo Jedi, you're not too far off in this economy. That actually equates to 4.625 pizzas.
4.6. Not that anyone's counting, but
yeah, not that anyone's counting.
I mean, I'm gonna venture a guess that it is something to do with the horrid mess on the underside of this board. Which is a shame, but
Gutbomb, actually, there is, I believe, a data sheet out there somewhere. Let me see if I've got it.
If Kai doesn't have it, that would scare me.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, I've been collecting data sheets for literally everything and anything. I mean, I've got a data sheet for the swim chip. I've just done like I said, I've just done the pinouts of like a whole bunch of other chips as well. I need to find
now what you said about the garbage in there that it's showing. It's random is very interesting because the original images I was getting from the machine being on and me resetting were slightly different. I'm going to share the Tinker Different thread I have here.
Look, there's me again.
Yeah, there's you. Because it would go to this sort of pattern, which would explain,
that is exactly what I would expect it to output if it was essentially reading snow.
Yeah. And it did do that. Let me read my own notes here. So when I swapped the ADB chip, now it's a solid color instead of the distortion.
Right. Okay.
So that is positive change, perhaps.
Okay.
See you, Action Retro. Thanks for stopping by.
Let's have a look here. Oh, no, that's the new chip. There we go. Right, UE9. Okay. I need some way of pulling this to ground. Okay, so you got.
I mean, I could solder it to ground and just make it kick and scream.
I'm just trying to find if there. I'm having a look through the video circuitry here. Again, I want to measure all of the oscillators and see what they're outputting, but we can't.
And it's totally fine if we wait to get another scope, and then I'll go through all those motions.
I mean, this is gonna sound a bit nutty.
I'm all for it.
Okay. Okay, so the data bus on the RBV is like it's all over the place. Not all of the pins kind of make any kind of sense. Data bus to the RAM DAC as well. I'm essentially trying to think if it's connected up to a monitor and you've got some sort of monitor feed. If we try and feed it garbage data in via the data bus, because it's not reading anything other than just what's on the bus. So if we connect a TTL logic level high of 3 volts to one of the data bus pins on the RBV, just one, and then see if we get anything out. That's just my line of thinking.
Let's do it. I have these little.
I mean, at this point, it's dead, so it can't get any deader.
Oh, we could don't tease me with a good time, Kai. We could sure make this better.
I mean, obviously, if we give it like a TTL logic level of sort of between 2.7 and 5 volts, but it's trying to find where's the best place to sort of tee off to get that voltage from.
I'm gonna turn it off for now.
I mean, you could try, like Gutbomb's suggesting, we could try and force reset to like logic level high, and see what happens.
The only chip that was really getting warm was the CPU.
Okay.
And the VSLI. Everything else is pretty cold. Yes.
Sound chips. Did you say you replaced either of them?
I have not.
You have not?
I'd be happy.
Okay.
But I in my rudimentary testing, the leg of the chip, all of them pinned out to the pads below, and I believe everything else. Let me add the camera back here. Everything else seemingly looked okay, but I have not swapped them out.
Okay, I have an idea. Okay, nutty idea we'll keep to one side for obviously introducing TTL logic levels to the bus to see if it does anything. Those Sony sound chips, the left sound chip Can you swap that left sound chip out for a spare? Have you got any spares? Or one you could salvage from a dead classic board? Or
I can try, but I don't know if the dead classic board has a dead sound chip. I could.
Even if you just swap the left one with the right one.
Yeah, and I could swap them from the working board too, just temporarily.
Okay, yeah, sure.
So let's do that, just because I know this one works. All right, so let's unplug all the things before I make a mess for myself. And so we just want the left one.
Yeah, the left one's the one that generates like the reset for all of the important peripherals. The right one only does it for the MDU. Obviously, the MDU will need to be properly reset as well. So if you're going to swap one over, swap both.
I'm just curious if this does anything, because we stole the real-time clock from it. I'm just curious. This is the other one at this point. I doubt it will, based on what we were discussing before. But I am just curious. This was working before I was silly to it. And stole pieces from it.
What I would, I'm just trying to think, because obviously reset was coming up to 1.5.
This one does chime without the real-time clock. Interesting. Okay. So yeah, this one does chime without the real-time clock, and we do get sound. So I know this sound chip does work on this system.
Well, those sound chips, funnily enough, they don't. All they do is they're actually just amplifiers.
Oh, okay.
And they're a reduction of the sound circuitry on the 128K, but with the additional reset circuitry built in. Tech-Knight and I actually kind of reverse engineered those chips. Okay. So it would be possible to remanufacture those or remake those.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it would be. Again, all with discrete components. So I think the only logic gate it uses is a CD4066, I think.
Yeah, Trina, that's a kind offer, but I believe your sound chip is extremely green. But these the chip on let's get a better look on this one. This is the problematic board here. Let's get a look here. They do look quite happy, but looks could be very deceiving. So let's so the left one you want me to swap out?
Well, if you're gonna swap them, swap both.
Okay.
And again, left for left, right for right.
All right, let me set this up so I can.
It's a long shot. It's a long shot, but I'm wondering if the reset isn't working correctly, because again, I know we were seeing that it was 0, and then it was climbing up to about 1.5 volts, but that's still classed as TTL logic level 0, which other chips might not be interpreting as high enough to be able to come out of reset, which would be considered as 2 volts. Minimum, absolute minimum, or higher.
Yeah. Well, I have the heat gun here. Let's give it a go. And hopefully we don't flip a breaker.
Hopefully not.
Or this will be a real short stream. Well, not short. We've been going for almost 2 hours at this point.
Nearly, yeah.
All right, so let's get this going. And again, Kai, I appreciate your brain.
That's okay. My brain appreciates being used. It's kind of like what I did with Bruce when we were bringing up the Classic Reloaded. Only at that point, I was it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was in a cottage on an island in the middle of the sea.
I remember that.
Yeah, I was literally, one eye had stopped working. It was just gone like, do what you like, just like.
You were just very involved.
I was so like wanting that to just work.
Okay, so I'm gonna label which one is which, so I know which is the one from the problematic board, etc., etc.
No, Mike, he's not blown it up yet.
Not yet, but I do hear rumbles of thunder, so.
It's Tom Barber. Hello, Tom.
Hey, Tom.
It's Garth, also. In fact, just everybody's like, hello.
So the label I'm using are thermal labels, and the heat from the label has turned the label black. The heat from the chip.
So basically, what you've done is a very like wideband version of a Sinclair Spectrum thermal printer.
Yeah, I like it. All right, so then we're going to remove the right one here.
I see you two also use the thumb method for applying flux through a syringe.
I'm glad I'm not the only one. Whenever I use a syringe, it just goes two everywhere. It's like, bleh.
See, I got one of those, like this is about 2-3 years ago now. It was an actual metal plunger. Do you know the brand Engineer? They do the really good solder suckers.
Okay.
You can get the Engineer SSO2 or whatever. But they did this basically as it's a syringe driver handle specifically for flux syringes, and it was really, really good, and you could be really, really accurate with it. But then I ended up getting a tube of flux, which was like twice the size of the plunger I had. The thing just rattles around like mad and just sort of bends in the middle, so you end up just having to jam your thumb in there.
Just take a look under these, make sure everything is happy. Yeah,
Frodo Jedi. That is really good news. I've now hit, and not just hit, but exceeded the goal.
Oh, how about that? Let's bring it up. We'll have to do the refresh on camera. Let's if my fat fingers could actually do this correctly. There we go.
I mean, that really does just mean so much.
Drum roll, please.
To both of us. That really does.
Hey, look at that! Woo!
Thank you.
Let's move the camera away from my crotch for this moment. There we go. That is excellent. Thank you, everybody, so much. And I know Kai sincerely appreciates it. This was part of the reason I wanted to do this stream. One, to pick his brain, but one, to promote an excellent cause here. So thank you, everyone. I'm sure this will help you sleep a little bit better tonight.
So, everybody, this is my wonderful wife, Louisa.
Hello.
And yeah, I just want to show her as well that.
Wow.
Yay!
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
A bit of a shock, actually.
Yep.
Thank you.
Bit of a shock, but very, very, very much appreciated. So everybody really does.
Now, I don't like being on TV, so I'm leaving.
Nobody watches this show. It's okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well done.
Sorry.
No. It's I'm very, very glad we were able to help. Like I was telling you earlier, I was in a similar situation last year where I lost my job, and then we had $3,000 worth of vet bills, and then we ended up losing our pet, and it was just the most horrendous timing imaginable. And
yeah, I remember when that happened as well, and and there was me going, "Hey, I can probably sort you out a job with Unity," and then I get canned like 3 weeks later.
Yeah, yep. Oh, I know. Life is cruel that way. You think everything's going smoothly, and then bam.
It was. Do you know what it was at that time as well? At Unity, I was the only IT support for Brighton, for London, for Southampton, for the data center in Slough. Basically everywhere outside of Dundee and Edinburgh. Wow. And it was just me. So I was thinking they couldn't possibly fire me. They'd have no one left, and then they fired me. Along with 1,000 other people.
Yeah, that's always the way. You always mentalize it in your mind of like, well, no, this certainly couldn't go this way because such and such. And then it just does. And you're like,
a multi-million-dollar company. How could they possibly? Oh, wait, I'm gone. Oh, it's not just me. Oh, okay. So who's going to do it? Oh, what, the other guy? No, he's the manager. He doesn't do. He manages.
He doesn't do.
No, he didn't.
Well, I'm very, very glad we're able to surpass your goal there. And I look forward to you having brakes on your vehicle.
So do I.
Working brakes.
Driving like an asshole. Yeah. How am I going around this roundabout? Sideways.
We're drifting.
Not because I want to.
Yeah, Joe, I feel you. Yeah, my world was put upside down a few times last year, and I know how that feels. So, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. What the hell are we doing here? That's right. We pulled the sound chips off. Let me label these before I forget which ones these came from. Nothing like playing chip roulette, huh? Which one was this? Was this the good one or the bad one? You're a bad witch or a good witch, you know? Okay. So again, thank you so much to everybody for contributing. I am I'm not seeing
if
anything.
people want to keep going, I'm not going to say no.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he could get 2 breaks now instead of just one. Yeah.
I can get discs and pads.
It's time to open up the wick that I bought when the other one was going.
Oh, is that Gootwick?
Gootwick, yes. I'm sorry, this is Super Wick.
Oh, okay.
It is super. Where's the other one I just used up? This lasted me years, actually. The same exact one, Super Wick. So
I got bulk bought this a couple of years ago now a load of the 2.5mm Gootwick.
Mm-hmm.
And I've not gone back to whatever it was that I was using beforehand. Just
whatever
really? else is available is just absolute garbage. I mean, I got Gootwick because, funnily enough, it was Lewis Rossman who was using it on his channel for doing all sorts of like BGA stuff.
Yeah.
And it was working great for him, so I thought, I'll give it a go with the Amtech Flux, and it's a really good pairing.
Well, that's good. Yeah, unfortunately, the Amtech was out of stock. I ended up with this Chip Quick, which works okay. It's
Chip Quick's not bad. It's a reputable mate.
Yeah, I figured if I'm going to go with anything, I want to make sure it's still going to work. And
rather than we scrape this off a factory floor. We hope it works.
Yeah, and I did the stupid thing of moving the power supply, which had the 2 chips on top of it. And the chips fell to the ground, but I found them this time. So that's
hey.
Oh.
See, even fake Amtech isn't as bad as some of the crap that they actually sell in the store.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, so RS over here in the UK was fairly large electronic supplier. I mean, I remember when I was a kid getting excited for the RS catalog. No joke, it was like 3 inches thick for volume 1.
Oh, cool.
It was like one of those. It was like a phone book. And it was the sort of one that, on page 673, you'd find the Motorola 68,000 that they were still selling for like £100, each. I'd love to get my hands on some actual RS catalogs from back in the day, just for nostalgia reasons. But,
yeah.
So RS would sell, or rather used to sell, decent quality stuff. And they've kind of gone downhill with some of the component level stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, certainly when it comes to like their own brand Flux, it's a bit crap. Actually, I'm being whistled. Hang on, I'm being summoned. I shall return in a second.
No worries. All right, so I'm just removing the solder off of these pads so we could swap those sound chips. Hopefully, a little bit easier. Just a little bit, makes it a little bit easier. And of course, it's all out of focus, but that's okay. Buy a bunch of stuff so I can quit my day job. Yes, Joe, that would be one heavy box. But see, then I would not have any money anymore. I need to pay my own bills. I do want to help, and you're even though I have a drawer full of Blue SCSI paraphernalia, I might need more. You can always use another Blue SCSI. I mean, come on. Oh, speaking of things I need more of, I need to get something off of the floor before I forget where I put the box. poopy. Where did I put it? I had these little cotton swab buds. And I saw a whole box of them. And I thought to myself, that's where they went. And I have no idea where that box went. Oh well. A Blue Scuzzy subscription service is a very dangerous idea. Steven, where did our life savings go? All of my Macs needed hard drives.
I return with dinner.
Oh, you could take your time eating. I don't want to interrupt.
Oh no. That's good. That's good. Lou wanted to pass along a message, which was, she's terribly sorry she disappeared. She panicked, and now she's being terribly English and having a cup of tea in the bedroom.
Tell her it's fine, and we love you both, and your stupid cats.
Yes, we too love the stupid cats sometimes.
Sometimes, except when they're stinky.
Yeah, just when she walks into a room and that's it, and then just walks off like, my job here is done. Thank you. Yeah.
Well,
I was telling Steve earlier the three cats that we've got. We've got Gary, who's he's a lovely cat, very normal, doesn't have any weird quirks, although he does like licking plastic bags.
Yeah, they do that. Our old cat used to do that.
And whereas Mocky is the little small one that we've got. She's never going to get any bigger. She was the runt of the litter. And she's small, she's brown, and she smells. Which is why she's given the nickname Poo Pants.
I love it.
I'm not kidding. We actually have her listed on our internet cat flap as Poo Pants.
I love it.
So you get this notification pop up on your phone saying Poo Pants has entered. Poo Pants has left.
Poo Pants. I'm gonna mute myself while the sound goes on, but please continue telling us about cat facts.
Other cat fact is that Murph, who was sitting here earlier, he's given lots of nicknames such as Lord Hoover, Dump Truck, Plumpty Dumpty, mostly on the account of the fact that he's very big, and everywhere he walks, we kind of feel like there needs to be a brass band following behind him going. Studio Workshop. As far as I'm aware, no, not really. This is the thing. I see a lot of events like VCF East, VCF Southwest, and everything else. And I think, that would be really cool to go to that if we kind of had one, but we don't. The most we had before COVID was the computer fairs, which would take place once a month, usually on a Saturday up near the golf course or something like that. There'd be a couple up and down the country, but essentially they'd just be selling new stuff and nothing vintage whatsoever. The closest thing I can kind of think of to it would be whenever there's an event up at the Retro Computing Museum in Stroud. So Neil, who runs RMC, the Cave, his museum up there is about the closest you'll come to it whenever there's like an event going on, certainly for the amount of people that go, but nothing in terms of like a swap meet or sellers or anything like that. So you're kind of at the mercy of eBay, Gumtree, and obviously if you want to bargain, Tinker Difference forums, where we obviously got the for sale sections there, and also we do have in the Discord as well on the Tinker Different Discord. We've got the for sale section there as well. She wasn't kidding. This is good.
Okay, so the chips are off. I'm just letting them cool down.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the good chips, the delicious chips.
Also, I hope nobody minds, but I've pulled this out from the back of the fridge. I've had it in there for a long time now, but I'm going to celebrate with a beer.
There you go. Enjoy. I will celebrate by licking the flux off of these pads.
No, Steve, that's how you get brain damage.
Oh, I got it mixed up. No, Steve, the opposite. All right, let's label these as well so we don't get mixed up. Those chips could retain a lot of heat. Darn.
Yeah, they can. I found that on more than one occasion when you're just like, oh, okay, it's been at least a minute. I'll move it to one side.
Hot. Yeah, I have this little USB fan. I'm just gonna cool down for a moment here. I've said this many times to Bruce, but I've seldom burned myself directly from the soldering iron. It's always the things that the soldering iron was just touching seconds ago.
Such as the mat on which things were sitting.
Yes. Don't lick the metal, Steve.
I'm going to answer Jeremy's question here.
This is the lovely pink fan.
No, I did not play with the ZX81. Whilst I am old, and I am in my 40s now, ZX81 was still slightly before my time. However, when I was must have been about 10, so it would have been about 1992. Yeah, about 1992-ish. There was another kid down my road who had a Sinclair Spectrum Plus 2 with a built-in tape deck. And I borrowed that for about 6 months from him, which was, it was quite fun to play with because I grew up with an Acorn Electron. And then obviously I had the Amiga 500 and Atari ST, and we did that more here than I know you guys did.
Mm-hmm.
You guys kind of went from sort of the Apple II straight into like a Mac or to PC, or you didn't. There wasn't not that sort of intermediate step.
Yeah, I really didn't see an Atari or a Commodore. I mean, I'm a few years younger than you, not by much, but my first experience vividly of what I remember computers were Apple IIs, and by that time they were at least discontinued for 10 years or so. But schools being schools, that was their budget. They held on to those machines until they didn't work anymore, which, because it was an Apple II, was rare because they just kept working.
It was very similar in the UK. I mean, obviously, you guys had Apple IIs in classrooms because Apple had the big push for like K-12 institutions to have them.
Yeah, and Kate, the Macintosh librarian, did an excellent video explaining that whole push. As I dropped the tweezers and stabbed my leg.
Whereas in the UK, obviously, ran about the same sort of time as the Apple II was kind of really at its peak or getting there in terms of market penetration, where we had the BBC, which obviously I've been really kind of happy to see Adrian Black playing with a BBC Master, because that's what I grew up with in a classroom. We still had we still had BBCs up until I was in secondary school, and even then they were still kicking around for very specialized applications for which there was no PC equivalent.
Wow!
And even then, a lot of schools weren't even embracing PCs until the sort of the late 90s, because again, Acorn had such a huge portion of the education market here in the UK. Once the BBCs had kind of like outlived their usefulness, Acorn were giving trade-ins, like, give us your BBC B and we'll give you £100 off of a new Acorn Archimedes, and that kind of perpetuated until about 1995 or so, and then surprise, surprise, Microsoft came to the government with a large bag of cash and said, "Hey, this is unfair." And the government of the time said, "Yes, you're quite right. It's very unfair. Now let me just put this money away for you somewhere safe." And then basically, all schools kind of switched to PCs, really.
Yeah, it was interesting because the first experience I had in my elementary school, we had a Macintosh computer lab, but there were still a few Apple II systems, just on carts that they would wheel out, and I think there were mainly 2GSs from what I remember. But in the school after that, which was we called it here high school, so that was grade Was it? Oh no, that was middle school. I'm mixing up. I meant elementary school. Elementary school, we had we just had the 2GS and the Macintosh lab, and then in middle school, so that's grade 6 and above here, there was a lab of Apple II systems, and I remember thinking, well, that's weird. They're older. Our other school had newer ones, you know.
Yep.
And there was a PC compatibles computer lab, but it was mainly like for typing and such. But our library still had an Apple II. They had a Performa 550, and they had an IBM PC. So they actually had like quite a different range of machines. I believe because they did have a small selection of software, and I guess there were various encyclopedias and so on were across platforms. So you know, if they didn't want to have to, I guess, get rid of any old software, so they had sort of you could use whatever type situation. I just remember the Apple II had an amber screen. I was like, oh, this is interesting.
Oh, I like those old sort of AMDEC kind of amber phosphor displays. I always found that to be the most comfortable of any. Like green really kind of hurt my eyes, but the amber was just kind of really nice to use.
Yeah.
One system that we had at our school that I think was kind of specific to like North Hertfordshire, where I went to school, was that there was a small network called the Ebenezer Network. I'm not sure if that's just because they were tight and they're naming it after Scrooge or something entirely different. But it used to be essentially bulletin boards, but like Usenet type bulletin boards. So we had some like VT220 or Weiss terminals with again the amber phosphor and those keyboards that you could use as a weapon. The sort of steel ones with a steel backplate that are like 6 foot long, that have more keys on than a 747's cockpit. That you think, okay, this is going to be an experience to behold. And of course, you would, and of course, it's connected to the this network, and then you'd have email, but only within your region.
Okay.
Using that was just way more fun than DOS on a 186.
Oh yeah, that sounds really neat though. I mean, that's and it's those unique experiences that are fun, but it's like those are harder to create these days, with just like one. So I started these on
finding any VT style or Weiss terminals, because basically after the kind of PCs came in, they all went in a skip.
Oh yeah,
like so literally everywhere.
I've soldered them, so I'm just making sure I didn't mess any of them up, which is quite possible, but we'll see. If I did this first go, I'll be amazed. Well, I must be getting better because I did it first go. Hooray! Make sure I don't have any bridges or anything silly like that. No? All right, let's check this left sound chip then. Same thing with that, okay.
So I'm just reading what Studio Workshops just said. I once cut the cord to a mouse when I was in primary school because my buddy wouldn't share and let me have a go. That's the definition of spite. That's like, oh really? I can't have a go. Well, neither can you or anyone ever again.
Ever again. All right. So we have our new to it sound chips on the board. I'm just gonna dry off some of this crud that we put on there.
Again, it's entirely possible that this might be in vain, but it does seem like 1.5 volt is not enough for a TTL logic level high for a reset.
Well, we're about to find out, aren't we?
Mm-hmm. Be interesting, certainly.
All right, so let's get this sort of out of the way here. Let's not stab ourselves on our scalpel today, please. We're going to plug everything. I'm going to plug in our video because I am overly optimistic as always. We're going to add that back in here. If it wants to work, come on. There we go. All right, and then we need our speaker. Just in case.
You never know.
You never do. That's true. All right, and we're going to plug our power supply in. And we're going to plug our power cord into the power supply because you do need that.
Mm.
All right, here goes nothing. 3, 2, 1. Same pop.
Okay, what we got in video?
Same black screen, seemingly. I'll give it a moment. Maybe it's reading all them memories.
Did you change the Sims at all since the first? Because I know when you
look
said...
at that.
Ah.
We get different color now.
Aha, that's more in line with what you had beforehand rather than just a flashing white.
Yeah. Now I did confirm these memory modules do work in the other system. So the ones that were naughty are not on the desk.
Okay. Are they 1 meg or 256K?
I believe they are 1 meg. We could test. Let's inspect one here.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Actually, did you switch the jumper back to onboard ROM?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
But we'll test it with our ROM. Just for
and
fun.
those Sims are in Bank A or Bank B?
These are in Bank A.
Okay, good.
You scared me for a second.
Yeah.
All right, let's try it again. Yeah, so this is with the ROM sim. It's flashing Morse code. Yeah, see now look at this. This is solid. When I press reset.
Mm-hmm.
Let's.
Anything happen when you press the NMI?
Let me try that. All right, so it's on right now. Pushing reset. No, nothing happens when I push the NMI, seemingly.
So hold down NMI, press reset, then release NMI.
That's what happens. Let's do the same thing with the jumper back on and the sim removed. So what'd you say? Hold NMI, push reset?
Yeah, so hold down NMI, press reset, release reset, then release NMI. Okay.
Yeah, same thing.
Well, it's not like a flashing so much. It's...
Interesting.
I think...
It's borked.
Well... That's what I mean. I mean, we need a scope to go any further.
Yeah.
Really.
No, I agree.
I think obviously, you can feel free to swap those sound chips back to the working board, or actually, I suppose you could try the ones from that board in the working board and see if they work.
This is true.
Yeah, and like Gutbomb says, you can try forcing reset high.
Yeah, let's do that. We'll make that our last attempt here at doing all this crazy shenanigans, huh?
Okay.
What type of hammer do I need to make that happen?
Let's see.
The biggest one you got. Joe said he's received 5 orders in the past 30 minutes for his web store. Excellent. JCM-1.com. Pew, 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 as Joe would say. While you are waiting to get an oscilloscope, you could get a logic probe. Now, apparently, I was reading this while you went to grab your food, Kai. Someone did make a logic analyzer app, I suppose, for this little flipper dealie I have. But they say that the maximum capture rate is unclear, and they didn't do anything to really test it, and their guess was it's in the 100 kilohertz range. But I would not assume it's going to be useful for us, unfortunately.
No, an actual scope would be. Even if it's just, I think it was Joe was saying earlier, the PC, like the Handtech scopes, are actually not too bad. And I mean, Adrian Black uses one of those as well, so that could be another cheaper option.
You have a friend in the chat here, Kai. Emma?
Yes, I do, yes. Known them for a very long time.
Hello. All right. So the scope that Adrian uses, I believe that's one of the ones that someone offered me. I have to follow up with them. So they said as long as I could like update the software or something on it, it makes it better. So I'm like, okay, sure.
Okay, the easiest place to get the 5 volts from was actually, funnily enough, connected to the reset line on the reset line on UB2. Actually, you could remove R58 and replace it with a wire link.
UB2. Okay, so I'm sorry. You said replace.
It might be on the back of the board underneath it, but R58 should be a 470 ohm resistor, which will tie the reset too high unless it's holding it low.
Let's see, R58. This is so exciting to find this.
I wouldn't say more capable, Eric. A variant. I see we're going down the route.
All right.
I downloaded all of Red Dwarf recently because it became available on BBC iPlayer.
Oh.
I don't know if any of you have ever seen it, but
I have not had the pleasure. No. Oh, R58, you said?
R58, yes.
Yeah, I found it. Okay, great.
So R58, if you just remove that, put it to one side, and replace R58 with a wire link, just bridge it.
Okay. I could do something simple as that, I'd hope. 5 seconds later, Stephen, why is your basement on fire?
You got a fire extinguisher. You can spit.
All right, let's.
You want to hear my favorite Space Core directive?
471. 471.
Probably a Space Corps Directive 1742. No member of the Space Corps should ever report for active duty in a ginger toupee.
Damn, I can't report them.
Space Corps Directive 5796. No officer above the rank of mess sergeant is permitted to go into combat with pierced nipples.
Now I need to see this program.
Yep.
Yes.
Space Corps Directive 196156. Any officer caught sniffing the saddle of the exercise bike in the women's gym will be discharged without trial.
All right. Ooh, we took a little bit with it.
Of the pad?
I don't know. Either way, it's moving right along. It's been one of those weeks.
How about some toast? What about a muffin?
So just bridge this?
Yeah, Bridget. Do it.
Do it.
That reset line high.
Let's melt all the enamel off the wire without burning my finger. That'll have to do.
Yay! So everybody in chat, there we go. Bootbox123, that's my wife.
Oh, hello.
That's my wife, Louisa.
Please enjoy the insanity. All right, we have a beep.
Okay, so you got continuity. Ooh, okay. I still don't trust a lot of those traces.
Neither do I, but at this point.
I mean, reset's going to be high, regardless.
I am not going over each and every one of those. I can tell you that. So, what do we expect to happen now? Any bets?
I mean, if you turn it on and it starts making screaming noises, then I'd guess you've hurt it and probably should turn it off again.
I like those odds.
Never tell me the odds.
Never tell me the odds. All right. So
I mean, magic smoke won't be released from tying reset to plus 5 volts.
I mean, we can see.
Tying it to 240, that's a different matter entirely.
All right. So let's see if anything different happens. We have our speaker plugged in. We have our memory. Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, we get garbage.
Oh.
Should I try pressing reset or anything?
Yeah, hit reset. See what it does.
Different garbage, slightly.
Oh, hang on. I just saw some data aligned into a column there.
That's when I'm holding the button.
When you're holding it. Okay. Hit the NMI button.
Just by itself?
Yeah, just by itself.
Nothing happens.
Now, so hold NMI.
Yep.
Press reset, hold reset, release reset, and then release NMI. Okay.
Hold NMI, hold reset, release reset, hold NMI. Yep.
Okay. Turn off and then back on again.
Off.
And see if we get different colored garbage again, or if it's no, it's consistently purple. We've created purple.
We've created the grimace shake on a Macintosh IIci.
Okay.
Our work is done here for the day.
I mean, is it okay? Is it turning? See, the video is just constant purple, right?
Yeah. Now, when I press reset, nothing happens.
Okay.
We've made it purpler.
We've made it purpler.
I'm gonna try the ROM sim just for the hell of it.
Yeah, try it. Give it a go. Nothing can go for plaid. I'm pretty sure that's what we had before Steve hit reset.
Still purple.
No. Is that with the jumper?
Yeah, the jumper is removed.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I was hoping for a nice majestic shade of blue.
Have you got any spare 6830s in QFP package?
No.
No.
I mean, sure.
Because again, this is like the last thing I can think of is like it's so everything's out of reset, which is why the RBV is displaying something.
Yeah.
Being consistent about it. I mean, if you were to measure the voltage of the reset line between ground and pin 40 on the ASC, that should show you 5 volt.
I'm just looking at every pin of this processor here.
It's not necessarily the pins I'm worried about because after I had a look through those when you were going over it. Both this time and in your last live stream, it's the vias that connect to the traces that look a bit scabby on the underside, and whether or not any of those are blind and going to the middle layers.
Stop making sense, Kai.
Yeah.
Well, I did not check the traces directly under there. Not that they would be directly under there, but oh yeah, that's just Mm. Mm-mm.
And actually, whereas my wife says that she can't even turn a computer on, that's a lie. She can turn a computer on. It's switching HDMI source on a TV that she can't do, because she literally phoned me once while she was babysitting and going, "Help, I can't work this TV, make it go."
Make it go.
Make it
That
go.
is a good way to ask, though.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, okay, you need to press the HDMI source button. What's an HDMI and what's a source button?
What's an HDMI and why is it in my house?
Why is this source button? Why is no ketchup coming out of it?
Push it harder.
Instructions unclear. Something stuck in ceiling fan.
I put potatoes on it. What? Now it's not working better. Yeah, something just tells me this board is there's something not connected somewhere.
What is that link there, Steve? On the microscope, there's a solder link, solder bridge.
It's not. It's one of the axial caps. It's floating above.
Oh, okay.
That's my own handiwork.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Yeah, and I can't even get it in focus because of the thickness of the board here. So,
do you know what? I reckon this would actually be one for Tech Night.
Yeah. Yep.
If Tech Night can't fix it, it's dead.
Yeah, but I don't want to torture that individual. I'd like to stand his good side.
Studio Workshop. That surface mount resistor looks burnt. Which surface mount resistor were you?
All of them.
R50? Yeah, R50. Yeah, you nearly had it in shot. Down a bit. Yeah, that one looks toasty.
It's only missing half its head.
Let me see. R50. Where does that go on here? R26.
Should I measure it?
You can. It looks like that should be 470 ohm.
No, it looks to be 10.
Yes, it looks to be 10, but it looks like it's supposed to be 470.
It's /0.
So that's the resistor that divides by 0.
That's the problem.
It's whole and 70 ohm.
At this point, your wife is just shaking her head like, "Oh God, what's wrong with these?"
This is what she has to put up with on the weekends. I'm like, "Look, darling, look, I found this on a schematic," and she's like, yeah,
that's nice.
Did you hear that in the background?
If I do measure this, I get 047.0.
047. So that's 447 ohm. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a normal value, and probably what it is. 470. Yeah, because 471, 472. Yeah. Okay. So 47 ohm.
Close your eyes. Let me hit this with the hammer. Then we'll have a problem.
It'll read differently.
See, I'm gonna put this into continuity mode just for funsies here, and you'll see that every single time I see something nasty,
it's fine. Yeah,
it's fine.
Can you measure the voltages of those oscillators, Steve?
You tell me what to do, and I'll do it.
Right. Okay. Well, first of all, you need to wear a very large hat.
Okay. Hold on.
Okay,
what did trash bucket do?
No, seriously. Okay, seriously. Right. The oscillators I want to check are. Sorry, I'm hearing Gary in the background. He's begging for food again. Meow.
Gary, we'll give you some food. Come over here.
Right. The first one is Y7. So Y7, which is located.
I believe I recall.
So you got Y2, Y3, and Y4 all in a line next to the PDS slot.
Y7 is right next to the RAM slots. 40 megahertz.
Yeah, that's the one. So that should be measuring. So again, I know we can't measure the frequency of it, but we can measure if there's power going to it.
Okay.
So again, just making sure that all of the oscillators are generating at least some of the clocks.
So we need power, correct?
So yeah, we need power. And I mean, they've only got 4 pins.
Whoopsie. You didn't see that. Nothing happened.
No.
Well, I could tell you which one is ground, I guess.
Yeah, so ground should be pin 4.
I got 2 of them that say ground.
Which is pin 7, which is on the edge with the flat.
I have 2 that are registering ground.
2 registering ground. Yeah, on that one you will. So pin 3, which should be immediately opposite it on the short side, that should be reading ground as well.
Yeah.
Okay, that's because that 40 megahertz, that's the output pin.
Okay.
That measures ground as well, because that one should go between pin 3 of that oscillator, or rather, that'll be pin 8 in the actual diagram. Pin 8 in the diagram, and pin 56 on UK2.
Okay.
And that will be the output pin for the clock signal. It's just being clamped to ground as a reference.
So how would you like me to measure the non-grounded pins?
Right, so again, with power on, if you need to find sort of the other ground pin and measure the voltage across the ground pin and the one opposite it on the other side. So,
Will do. I will let you know how much smoke comes out.
Yeah.
Okay. We have negative 0.0.
Negative 0.0. Well, that's with power to the board, yeah?
Yes. Let me try the other one. 1.89.
1.89. Okay, that's not good. That's supposed to be 5.
Yay! Well, could it be that because we bridged that reset?
No, it wouldn't. That wouldn't affect it at all because it's nowhere near any of the reset lines.
Okay. Try any of the others while it's upside down.
Yeah. So if you can also measure the voltage on Y2, Y3, and Y4, that's the line. So again, we're not checking for frequency; we're just checking for power to Y2, Y3, and Y4. You can leave like your one probe connected to ground all times and just use the other probe to measure just the voltage.
So it doesn't have to be the ground of that. It could be.
No, exactly. It could be any ground it will
right,
go
let me
to.
Switch probes here so I could clamp that.
And pin 14 is the rounded edge opposite the right angle on the short side.
From being upside down, that doesn't.
So yeah, when you're looking at it from.
Oh, I see. There's that little silk screen. You mean?
Yeah, so you do have this little silk screen, but also if you look at the oscillator can itself, 3 sides are curved and 1 side is flat, 90 degrees.
Oh, yes.
Right, okay, so that 90 degrees side, so from the top,
yep.
The 90 degrees is pin 1.
Okay.
And the one opposite it on the shortest side, so like from top to bottom, that is the voltage, that's power.
Okay. So
pin 1, i.e. the one with the squared corner, that's never connected on any oscillator.
Okay. Well, let's see. Whoops. As I almost hurt myself there. This is 5 volts.
Okay.
5 volts.
Yeah.
5 volts.
Okay, so 5 volts on Y1, Y2, and Y3.
Oh,
right?
And you know what? The other one is also 5. But I was an idiot. I was just probing ground to the itself.
Oh, okay. Right. So Y7 pin 2, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other one, so one pin is 5 volts, the other pin is 2 volts.
And Y6 over by the MDU?
Okay, that's over here. And that's the corners there. That's also 5.
It's also 5, okay.
And the other pin is not telling me anything. Oh, 1.2.
1.2. Well, again, that will be probably the output of the actual oscillator itself.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm getting rapidly out of ideas without an oscilloscope.
Well, I think we'll have to revisit it with an oscilloscope. I think that's the only answer for this.
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, obviously, tying reset high obviously made a change.
It made it do something.
Yeah, exactly. It took things out of reset, but it's still not executing code. Actually, that's a good point. With it turned on, can you measure if there's any signaling going on at the address pins on the ROMs?
Should I ground it or no?
Yeah, so one probe grounded and the other one going to pin like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12
Sure.
on ROM 1 to ROM 4.
All right, so let's get this situated again. Don't drop, you silly camera.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna turn it on.
Mm-hmm.
And you said 1, 2, 3, 4.
So 2 through to 12.
Oh, here's 2.
Yeah.
3.
Right.
4. No, I'm sorry, that's 3. Wait, let me do this again because I'm an idiot. 2.
Right. Okay, so
3.
there's a signal. Yeah.
4.
Logic level high. Nothing.
5. 6. 7.
Okay.
8.
Okay, good.
9. 10. 11. 12.
Okay.
13.
So 13's data bus.
14. 15.
Okay, so we've got some. Okay, so we've got something on the address bus now.
And 16. Okay.
Okay. Let me have a look at that.
Thank you very much, Studio Workshop, for the super chat. Have you tried turning it on and off again? Off and on again? I wish I could say no, because that would be great. Thank you very much for the super chat. Eep.
Okay, so we're getting okay. So forcing reset high means that there is something on the bus, and it seems consistent because if we're getting logic level high, 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 low, 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 high, that's a pattern to me.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not going to question if it's a good pattern or a bad pattern because I'm good for any patterns at this point.
Okay. I'm gonna hang on. Notepad. Right. Just give me a minute, Steve. I'll be back in just a second.
You can take your time. No worries.
Beer has gone.
Need more. And yes, Adam, we put a bunch of flux on your board, but that didn't seem to change anything. We also swapped the sound chips from your good board to this one, and no dice. So at this point, we can make it display a nice purple shade, but that's about it. And the speaker pops, which is, always encouraging. In fact, let's plug the speaker back in. Why not? I was imagining it was making noises before. I did, but Kai offered his big brain, and I said, okay, we'll give it a shot. Oh, the crotch cam is getting old. Let's point this back up to my face. Kai offered his brain as tribute, and I said, yes. And we also wanted to do a fundraiser for Kai Adam, so that's why we're still at this board. And Kai is back.
Okay, yes.
That's how I feel.
Weight off my mind. Okay. Right. What I want to do is I want to try and if I make a recording of what is going on in the address bus and see if we've got a pattern or if it's random.
Okay.
Okay. So A2 to A19. So
let's put this back down so we can all record this. So this is the first ROM chip all the way to the left is the one I've been testing.
So pin 2 is A2. So pin 12 on the ROM is address line 2.
That's 12. Make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
11?
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's 12.
Right, so 0.
11.
Go back 1. 11, 1, 10,
0,
9,
0.
8,
Yep.
1, 7,
Yep.
6,
0,
5.
0.
Right, okay, now you're going to need to change position. So pins 20, so pin 27.
Nothing.
Okay, pin 26.
Oops, sorry. Nothing.
Nothing, okay. Pin 23.
Nothing.
Pin 25.
Yes.
Pin 4.
4 is nothing.
Pin 28.
Yes.
Pin 29.
No.
Okay, pin 3.
Yes.
Pin 2.
Yes.
And pin 22.
All right, so that's 1 second. No.
Okay, so we've got what it's doing on the address bus, which is 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, that ain't random. I mean, it's doing it's definitely doing something. The data on the bus I don't care about.
Mm-hmm.
It's what it's doing on the address bus. Is
it calling out for SOS?
That's the thing. That could be the ROM trying to execute like its first instruction, and something is stopping it. So we're forcibly pulling the reset line high, but we don't know what is keeping it low. If something is otherwise shorting it, if something's otherwise trying to pull the reset line down somewhere. Yeah, just swore at you in binary. You're sunk my battleship.
And yes, thank you, Colin. Yes, I'm bookmarking this time.
I like those Rigol scopes. They're nice.
Yeah, I might have to see my now that you're here, I can pick your brain about it. My concern is I know nothing about scopes, so I want to make sure if I'm going to buy one, I don't have to buy a second one.
No, you don't. With a Rigol 1054. Okay, so all you're going to be using it for typically, or at least in your initial use case, you're not going to be typically using more than one channel.
Okay,
and that's going to be to check what things are doing at certain logic level on certain address pins or certain data bus pins, or measuring clock frequencies at like single pins.
Okay.
You're not going to be dealing with two traces at once. You're very rarely going to be dealing with anything 100 megahertz or more. Most of the stuff you're going to be dealing with is sort of 50 megahertz or below.
Okay.
So yeah, even just the simplest 2-channel 100 megahertz digital storage oscilloscope will be more than enough. They're dead easy to learn. I mean, I've got this 01 SDS 1102.
Yeah.
I'll link to that one as well. Let's see the SDS. See if they still do it. And this is 199. Again, you don't necessarily need the storage functions of it either. This gives me everything that I need in a scope.
Okay.
That one. There we go.
Oh, and I forgot to ask if you were in this part of the chat. If you were watching part of the stream last week or the week before, when I was poking around at the little crystals, because I don't think I got a measurement of Y1, but I did on Y5.
So Y5, you said?
That's by the real-time clock. I believe I got a signal on that one. That I would just go into the ohm mode. Is that correct? Oh no, it's the I forget.
Frequency mode, hertz.
Yeah, never mind. Thank you. I was like, no, wait, it was above the thingamajig on the thing.
Y5. Wait, was that the 32.768 kilohertz? Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, so your multimeter will read that.
Let's double check. No. Oh wait. Hold on, it's just slow. It's reading that as, well, come on.
It's probably got a very low sample rate.
Yeah, I'm just holding it here for a second. It said 12 for a second, but it's saying 0. Does the polarity matter, or?
No, it doesn't matter on those. It's just a straight square wave output.
Yeah, we're getting, and that I replaced that with
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that because that's not going to have any bearing directly on anything other than the RTC.
Okay, there's another one over here that's Y1. Whoa, speaker made noises when I connected it. That is 59 hertz. Well, then it went back to 0.
Yeah, that's because that's the video signal, isn't it? It's trying to output 60 hertz. So, where is it on here? That is connected to, you said Y1. Okay. Where is Y1? I'm not actually seeing it on the schematic here.
Oh yeah, Y1 is right below the serial chips on this board. It's connected.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, I see it. So that's connected to those. Will that be the reference for the SCC? I wonder.
It makes the speaker make noises. It scared me.
Scroll. Wi-Fi serial. Right, Y1 should be around here somewhere. God, where is it?
Oh boy.
30. Okay, so it's not connected to any of the 26 LS30s directly, or the 75175s. I swear these Beaumark schematics are designed to be as deliberately obtuse as possible. I mean, like a lot of it makes perfect sense, but then some of the naming conventions that the guys used is just nutty.
Well, I think we did a fair amount of poking around and experimentation what we could without a scope. So I am fully happy with putting a pause on this. And,
let's stick a fork in it. It's done.
Should I put it on the barbecue? It is the 4th here. So. Delicious Motorola processor.
I mean, we've come away it's not like we're as clueless going into it as we were. We're not as clueless coming out of it as we were when we went in. It happened there. We know that tying the reset high, forcing everything out of reset causes something to change, but most notably, by pulling it out, you're getting activity on the address bus.
Yeah.
I mean, you can measure on the data bus as much as you want, but I think you'll probably just get garbage data. But it's the fact that you're getting a consistent something on the address bus. And it's not just walking the bus. It's not going 10101010111111. You know, it's not just doing a pattern or a sequence. It's a specific thing. And I would love to know what that would equate to in binary as, say, and I don't think the 68,000 series has an equivalent of an NOP instruction, but it certainly seems like it's a halt or ready or something instruction that's on the address bus that's ready to go, but something's stopping it from advancing to the next instruction.
Yeah, I mean, I have the text step, but I don't know if this would progress to a part where the text step would be helpful.
It would. Tech
You
step
think
should probably. I reckon the tech step would do it.
Well, let's end this with some poking about with the tech step. If I could find where the hell I put mine. I think it's over here. Hold, please. I'm relying on you for the hold music.
No. Although, hang on. I think I've got the perfect hold music here.
Don't you give me a content strike. I'll just go la 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 la.
Okay, I don't know if you can hear this.
No, but I like your dance. Adam says he only paid $40 for this board in the first place. I think I put way more into that. So we're in the negative already.
Okay, I'm just going to paste the link for the interlude music, and then you can kind of make your minds up for yourselves.
There you go. Good idea. All right, let me see if I can find the text step, because now I'm just curious at this point.
Or at the yawning stage, and I shouldn't be. I've literally, that's only one beer. It's nearly my last beer. No, I'm not going down that route.
Okay, I found it. It's a miracle. Ugh. I hope I have the damn right cartridges in here, or we're kind of screwed.
I mean, ideally, all we really need is the CPU.
Yeah, but I mean, the tech step cartridge has to. That's right. This says for the 2CX, but not the 2CI. I wonder.
That should still work.
We'll try. This abomination better do something. $300 labor on a 40 board. Yeah, that's about right.
Jeremy, around about 2.5 hours.
Oh boy,
Should not be yawning this much.
That's all right. We'll wrap
this up. This thing it's not quite 10 o'clock yet either. You know, I only get in from work at like 6:30, so I've not been at this long. But it's the fact that I've eaten.
I am stretching your brain.
No, not really. Tech step, replace mainboard. You know, that's kind of exactly. Like that's like kind of the instructions you get on a Toyota Supra for how to change the starter motor.
Replace
like step 1, remove engine. You know, just like okay, sure.
Yeah, maybe later. Oh boy, nice tangled of cables, Stephen. Good job putting this all away properly.
There's still 3 minutes left, according to my clock, until it hits 10. Therefore, it's still 9.
I like the way you work.
The sun has literally only just gone down.
Well, I know at least the tech step will tell me one of the serial is bad because one of the chips is not connected.
Yeah.
Oops. Come on, you silly thing. There we go. Okay. All right, so then I have to connect a bunch of serial and ADB cables. All right, so this is the printer. I'm not going to bother connecting the modem because it's not going anywhere. And we have 2 ADB cables we have to connect.
Oh, God. Stop yawning. I'm going to make everybody else yawn in a minute.
You're going to make me yawn. Then it's the end of the stream.
It was so lovely stream. Thank you, everyone.
This is so happy to see all these people. Okay, where did I put? There it is. All right. Let's try and get a nice visual of this. Maybe. Oops, this camera mount leaves a lot to be desired. All right. So that's what we want. From A, 2CX, close enough. Power supply actual is 0. Well, that will change in a moment, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just try and deal with some of the glare. All right.
See, I've never actually seen an actual text step being used ever in person. I've only ever seen it in pictures and in myth.
Well, you're about to see it do a whole lot of probably nothing. All right, so power supply 5 volt, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Test. Please turn off CPU. Okay. SCSI termination missing. Terminate the bus. CPU powered on. Initiating test manager mode, which it probably won't be successful with. But we'll see. Yeah, it should have done it already.
Do you have the cartridge for the 2CI?
The cache, you mean? Oh no, I don't think there is a cartridge for the 2CI. I think there's for the 2CI. I could be very wrong. Let me see.
Jeremy, I would allow you to. All I need is an ATE ABS sensor on the front driver's side. And also to figure out why it is that when I brake and I turn right, I just hit.
Yeah. I can't remember if what ROMs a tech step has. I'm not sure if it has 2CI or if that's just the one that I have. The reproduction somebody gave me things for. I just haven't built them yet. Someone smarter than me would be able to remember.
Let's see. There is a cartridge for it.
Oh, there is.
There is. So you've got the Apple Tech Step CPU Test Volume 1 version 1.1.1.
Yes, and I have Volume 2.
So Volume 1, Volume 2. You need Volume 3.
Of course.
Yeah, Volume 3 is for the 2CI, SI, VI, VX, and Performance 600.
Yeah, but that it's not even getting to this point would suggest that it... Because I've had this happen before on on working systems where there's a fault where it's not turning on, like the tech step won't be able to boot the system per se. Because from what I understand how this works is this is actually booting to an extent or signaling to the system through SCSI to get to run patterns on the screen and all this stuff.
Yeah. And
it's not being able to get to that point for probably the same reason that we were having.
Yeah. Again, I think where was it? There was a thread on Tinker Different about this.
Yeah, I'm on that where someone was recreating. I actually have all the bits to recreate. I just don't have.
It was Max. Where is it? Yeah, that was it. It was Jajan and Max.
I'm on that one.
Yeah, that's the one.
I actually got those in the mail, but I have not had the opportunity to put them together yet. But that's something I will certainly do now. While I wait for the oscilloscope, I'll do that. So
I do wonder if I do wonder if Max is any closer to release, because obviously, they've got all of the ROMs built into it.
Yeah.
Which is very handy. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it should at least come up with something at this point.
Yeah, the one that I was playing around with, or the ones that was sent to me, were to just reproduce the individual tests. I know they were working on one that had like everything built into it, which was cool. But yeah.
Okay, I think at this point, without a scope, we can go no further. We
Yes.
verified at least that everything voltage wise is fine in the startup circuit,
which is good.
Which is good. We've verified that everything on the reset line A and reset line B have continuity, so there's no breaks anywhere. Everything that should be being pulled high is being pulled high. We verified that by forcing reset high, we're getting activity on the address bus, but it's not changing. The activity on the address bus isn't changing. It's consistent.
Yeah.
So it's in a hold mode, or it's a halted mode. Honestly, ask him Tinker Different Discord and see what Tech Knight thinks.
Yeah.
At this point, we'll give him the information. But yeah, grab yourself a scope, and then we can go at this again with a scope.
Yes, I think I will. The remainder of my evening will be shopping for scopes. So.
I mean, the thing is, I feel like everyone has been like a stuck record on this scope.
I know.
Scope.
Watch we get it and doesn't help us.
There is.
It'll be a useful tool for sure.
There is another useful tool that you can get, which is one of these. I'll just link it in chat for you.
Stethoscope.
Stethoscope. There we go. So one of those. Those can be useful in a pinch where you don't need to bust out a full oscilloscope, but you just need to know whether something is TTL logic level high or low.
Oh, that looks fun too.
Yep. You can set it for whether or not you want TTL or CMOS signaling levels as well.
$17 add to cart.
You can get them generally a bit cheaper now. I mean, that one's marked down to $39.75. That's not too bad.
Yeah, it's a $17.90 here, so that's good enough in the cheap range for me. So do I attach both probes to each of my ears and just
no
logic detected?
No logic detected. Yeah, exactly. You're not Vulcan. Yeah, I mean, those are incredibly useful bits of kit. So again, even if you didn't get a scope and you just had that would still be something. But in conjunction with having a scope as well, they're invaluable.
Yeah. No, that's
easy to learn.
That will be delivered on Thursday, it says. So
woo, nice.
Yes.
That was quick. What else can we make Steve buy?
No. We'll need a GoFundMe for the debts that I incur by buying stupid things everybody tells me to buy. I'm not that famous on YouTube yet. Oh, well, Kai, I cannot thank you enough for spending your evening with me, noodling around and making everybody giggle at our stupid nerd jokes.
This is fun though. That's the thing. I kind of enjoy this sort of stuff. So I mean, like, if you want to do another one of these with
sure,
a scope, then
Yeah, I think I'm. There's a 2 aside from this batch. I have to ultrasonically clean to make sure that the video interference goes away. There were some lines there. But yeah, I will see if you are a glutton for punishment and want some more. We'll go
let's do it. Excellent. I'll drive home from work at the speed of light again.
Yeah, with brakes.
With brakes, yes.
Improvement.
Francois, you haven't missed everything. It's recorded.
Yeah, you could rewind and play it at 2 times speed. We actually look smart when we go faster.
Indeed.
Oh, goodness. Well, I'm going to wrap it up here, I guess, because it's almost dinner time for me here. So Kai eating made me hungry. So.
No, I'm terribly sorry.
So I'm gonna sign off, Kai. If you want to stick around, well, I'll debrief you in the.
No, it's okay. I'm gonna go and have myself a drink and then get into bed. I think.
Good idea.
Not that I'm tired. I'm getting to the point where that beer is going to my head. So.
Well, thank you, Kai. You may disembark at your will.
Thank you very much, Steve, and thank you to everybody in here for all of your kind words of support and your donations. Everything, it has made a huge difference. Yes, I have amended the thing just to keep it running, but I mean, I'm at my goal now, and yeah, anything I can do to kind of put back to the community what you guys are all giving me. Just let
Quadrate 48 feet.
Fine, I'll go to Quadra 540. I need somebody with an X-ray microscope. Borrow some time from the local university. Okay, right. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna leave. I'll see you guys later.
Thank you,
Thank you very
Kai.
much, Steve, for having me on.
You're
Cheers.
welcome. Take care. Have a good
Bye.
night. All right. Well, thank you again, Kai, for letting me noodle your brain there. So this 2CI is still unhappy, and we'll see how much further we want to bang our heads against the wall about this. But yes, I think it is time to invest in a scope. I'm going to follow up with an individual who was saying they may have one. If not, I could maybe get one next week. That might be fun. But hopefully everybody enjoyed this. I see some emojis in the YouTube chat, which is a new thing. I don't know how that was going off, but yay. But thank you everybody for tuning in. It's about 50 or so of you still watching. Be sure to like the video before we turn this off, because YouTube will think this is a good thing. I don't know. If you like this thing, also subscribe to it, because yeah, it's free. But yeah, if it's the 4th of July where you are, happy Independence Day in the US at least. Hopefully it's this sounds like you. Uh-oh, Bruce. I'm scared. Yeah, I'm just rambling at this point because I clicked the end stream button and it is not coming up. It is just going like this. Oh boy. Oh boy. Anyway, time for me brain fix go. If Bruce streams later, I'm gonna bother him because that'll be great. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for all the likes, the subscribes, all that fun stuff. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you so much for all those for you who had donated to Kai's GoFundMe. I'm going to rest my brain. Thank you so much, and take care. Bye.